Hey, it's the Thursday Checkdown with your host, Greg Kellogg, but no Tipp Major. He's got a recital for his daughter, so Joe Carlton is filling in. Joe, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing excellent, Greg. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate the chance to fill in for Tipp.
Well, we love having you. I love the accent, for one thing. But we got to tell the people our mission. Our mission at the Sports Affiliation is to provide the very best fantasy advice possible in a positive environment and to, have fun doing it because, hey, if it's not fun, why bother? So anyway, tonight we're going to be telling you what stud you should be sitting, what sleeper you should be starting. We'll cover a variety of other topics. And anyway, we've got a couple very special guests with us tonight. And Joe actually told me that both of our guests and himself were all at the Scott Fish live draft. And are you guys all still in the running for Scott Fish Bowl, Joe?
No, I got knocked out last week. Not this week, but the week before.
Well, let's ask our pro. Representing the pros is Michael Reedy of Fantrax and Optimus Fantasy. And I got to say, before we get into Scott Fishbowl, Mike, yesterday I read one of the best and funniest tweets I've ever seen. Basically, referring to the Jonathan Taylor idiocy, that's what I call it. A poster called for not reviewing this type of play because, hey, he's going in anyway. What does it matter if he drops the ball before he crosses the goal line? I loved your take. You want to tell the audience your response and then tell them a little bit about yourself.
I had multiple comments about that stuff. Like, we teach 5-year-olds this, right? Carry the football over the line. That's it. It's pretty simple. And it's funny, I'm also from Boston. I literally grew up a 5-minute drive from Joe's house. I can tell you where he lives. But yeah, I mean, how many times we see guys doing this now in the NFL, dropping the ball before they cross the line? Come on, it's just asinine. If that was a high school kid, a high school coach would be tearing him to shreds over that.
I'm sure he heard it from his coaches too.
But I can't believe the people online. Oh, well, they should just give it to him anyways.
Those people have him on their rosters. You know that.
They've never played a sport, more than likely. Yeah.
Probably not. But tell us about where your work's found and what you're doing.
So you can find me at Fantrax. The article I'm most well known for is Moneymakers and Heartbreakers. So I was super thrilled, by the way, with some of what we're going to talk about today, because in that article, I have guys I think are good and guys I think aren't so good for every week. And you can find me over at Optimus Fantasy, where I talk a lot with Nate. We do a waiver wire podcast on Tuesdays and a DFS podcast on Fridays.
Daily fantasy sports. I have not delved into that yet. Hey, representing our Joes is Steve Michelson. And Steve, if you're on here, why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself? How long you been playing this game?
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I've been playing for quite a while. My home league, we're 13 years strong, so around 15 years playing, 13 in the home. I got a couple trophies in my my man cave that I'm staring at right now, so I've done all right over the years. But you get lucky every once in a while when you play in so many leagues, I guess. Otherwise, I'm just happy to be here.
So, Scott, you guys are in Boston.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the No Name restaurant?
No, I haven't.
No?
It just closed. They closed like last year, Mike.
Oh, that's sucks. It had the best and cheapest seafood, fresh seafood you could get. We went to it when I was in the Army and stationed at Fort Devens. You had to walk past Pier 54 to get to it. And we went to Pier 54, and we weren't dressed for Pier 54, which is high end. You got to be dressed up for that restaurant. And we saw this crowd of people going down the pier further, so we followed them. And it's a little hole in the wall. But man, its food was good. It was really good. one of my favorite restaurants ever, anywhere in the world, and I've eaten all around the world. So I just love No Name. I can't believe it closed. Anyway, behind the scenes, as always, Iggy and JC are taking care of us. And our first segment tonight is to AI or not to AI. Now, in these segments, we ask the Sports Mind AI to evaluate 3 players. Last week, we asked Smy for week 15 in a PPR league that also gives points for return yards. Please rank George Pickens, Devonta Smith, Alan Lazard with pros and cons. All right. Smy predicted Smith, Lazard, and Pickens. The crowd and I agreed. So were we right? Yeah, kind of. Smith scored 28 points. Lazard didn't score, but he did play. He had 4 targets, didn't catch any. Pickens didn't even play. So basically, Smy is sitting at 36 points. He gets a point for every spot that he's wrong. So if he had picked Smith to be third, he would have got 2 points for Smith since he finished first. But since he got them all right, it's all zeros, and that's a good thing for us. This week, we asked Smy for week 16 in a PPR league that also give points for returns. Please rank Najee Harris, Rico Dowdle, and I blanked out on it. The third one was Adam Thielen with pros and cons. And we also asked the crowd, and this is what the crowd thought. 63% love Rico. 20% like Adam. Only 17% like Najee Harris. Now, just so you know, points per game this year, Thielen leads the 3 at 12.7. Okay, coming up next is Rico Dowdle with 12.6 and Najee Harris with 12.5. So I always give my take, and then we'll listen to what the Smy said, Sir Winnington in our parlance. Rico Dowdle's averaged 22 carries for 131 yards over his last 3 games. He's not used in the passing game so much, which is a shame. But this week he faces a Tampa Bay defense that has been giving up 131 rushing yards per game. Now, that's to all running backs on the opposing team. But still, Dowdle gets most of the carries, so he'll get the biggest share of that. They're also allowing about 1 TD per game. This would seem to be a favorable matchup for the Cowboys. A Dowdle-friendly game script will also limit time the Bucs' dynamic offenses on the field. Najee Harris has gotten under a 50% snap share in 3 of his past 4 games. Not good. He has scored in 2 of his past 3 games. That's good. And had 6 receptions in 1 of those outings. Very good. But he also faces a Ravens defense that was torched by the Eagles and has given up 5 rushing touchdowns in their last 3 games. Now, those 5 rushing touchdowns, I do believe 2 of them were to quarterbacks, different games. So that's something to keep in mind. Adam Thielen has been targeted 28 times in the past 3 games. He also has 2 games with 18-plus points, and his floor was still over 10 points. So the Cardinals, his Week 16 opponent, are giving up 12 for 152 and 1 to opposing wide receivers per game. Now, that's all wide receivers, so he won't get all of that. I'm ranking them Dowdle, Thielen, and then Harris. But what did Sir Willington think?
Rico Dowdle comes out on top due to his explosive ground game performances, strong projections, and overall current form. Adam Thielen follows, especially in roles needing reliable receiving options, while Najee Harris, facing a tough defense and offering less return yard potential, rounds out this ranking trio.
Well, this day in history, last week we were perfect. Perfectly wrong. Okay. Every team we picked to fall off the rails won by an average of over 18 points. Ouch. Hope we do better today. Anyway, September 19th, 1945, this day in history is near and dear to my heart. because Peter Townshend was born. Townshend, best known for his work as a songwriter and a guitarist for The Who. Okay, I saw The Who play live, so I kind of like Pete a lot. He does play extremely well, but I want to know who presents fantasy owners with their best present this weekend. Now, for me, that's clearly CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb this week, okay? And when Dak Prescott went down in week 9, I thought Cowboys and Lamb's seasons were essentially over. I was wrong. Cooper Rush isn't Dak, but he is showing growth and has 5 TD passes in the last 2 games. Not bad. He's depended on Lamb, targeting him 60 times in his 6 starts. That's 10 per game. That's pretty good. This week, he faces a Tampa defense that has looked decent recently because of who they faced, not because they've played well. For the year, the Buccaneers are allowing 24.2 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. Only Jacksonville allows more. Lamb should eat, and he should eat well this week. So I want to know, how about you, Mike?
So I had Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN, going up against the Vikings. Vikings give up the most fantasy points to opposing teams' wide receivers. Seahawks target him 23% of the time. He has 114 targets on the season. 20 different wide receivers have scored double-digit fantasy points against the Vikings this season. With the kind of volume he gets and how bad the Vikings defend the wide receiver, he's going to make it 21. He's going to easily break double digits. I think you're looking at potential 20-point fantasy day from Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Okay, now Tipp in our earlier show tonight raised the issue about what if Geno Smith doesn't play. Do you have any concerns about that?
They're still going to throw the ball, I think, a lot. I think they're going to have to throw the ball to stay in this game. And I believe he's going to get targeted. Right now, it looks like Geno's playing. I believe they're rolling him out there no matter what, right? You can't blame him.
He was a full participant in practice yesterday.
Yeah, so it looks like he's playing, so I'm not really worried about it. He's somebody I'm playing. I already have him going in some DFS lineups, by the way. Definitely liking JSN this week.
All right, let's move over to Joe. Who you got, Joe?
For me, it's Jahmyr Gibbs going up against Chicago. The last time he played Chicago, he had 10 touches for 104 yards on nine carries, 87 yards, almost 10 yards per carry, 10 yards per touch. We know David Montgomery is done for the year, so all of the important touches, the red zone carries, the third down, all the third downs, I expect him to be in there for the majority of those. I could see Craig Reynolds and Sione Vaki probably combining for just a handful of touches, just to spell them. Maybe a design run or 2 for Jamison Williams as well. But we're looking at 20 to 25 touches for Jahmyr Gibbs, which should easily produce probably about 150 total yards, a touchdown, and I could see him getting about 7 receptions. So definitely a smash game coming for Gibbs.
All right, and our last guest, Steven. Who you got, Steve?
This is a great question, and the first person that came to my mind was James Conner. With Trey Benson banged up, likely not to play, I think he's a home run start for you. He's been a steady stud all year. Playing the Panthers D, who is pretty much bottom of the barrel in every aspect of the word. They're allowing 173 rushing yards per game, 34.6 rushing attempts per game, and around a touchdown and a half per game. So with Trey out, there's really nobody else there to help him out. So I think Conner is just going to smash anybody with some success in the semifinals. And I also think it's good that the Panthers offensively are sort of kind of clicking. So I think we might see a game between the two where it isn't a blowaway and they're going to have to rely on folks scoring touchdowns.
Very nice. Next segment, Iggy. So every week there are some studs that you have to sit because of matchup or injury. But we don't point out injured players to you because we figure you're smart enough to figure that out. And I don't believe in the old adage, always start your studs. I think that's a big mistake. So every week we give you 4 studs to sit. Last week we were 2-1-1, which puts us at 32-19-9, 608 for the year. So 60% of the time we're telling you to sit a top 12 player, and we're right. So what studs are we sitting this week? Well, for me, I went the running back route, and I went with Houston's running back, Joe Mixon. Now, I may be a week late and $1 short on this call because he did have a bad week last week. He was held to 12 of 23 with no touchdowns last week. He did add 5 receptions for 56 yards, which, it wasn't expected, really, a little unexpected. It still wasn't enough to push him up into a wide receiver 1 range. This week he faces a Chiefs defense that is limiting running backs to 85 yards per game. Again, not lead running backs, all running backs. KC is the stingiest defense versus running backs in the league. All right. One warning, Mixon has 6 targets in each of his past 3 games, and he's converted them to 14 receptions. But he's not adding a lot of yardage with those receptions, and his only receiving TD came way back in week 6. So I think his first game back from a 3-week injury induced, I think that this was his first week back from a 3-week induced injury vacation. So it's a little understandable that he was a little down. I just think it's the defense that gets him down this week. Now, let's go over to our pro again. Mike, who you got?
I have Terry McLaurin this week as a guy I'm going to sit. The last time they played was week 11. The Commanders played the Eagles. The Eagles give up the least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers. He had 1 catch for 10 yards. I don't really expect a lot from Jaden Daniels either this week. That's a defense that defends the pass and the wide receiver exceptionally well, literally the best, right? So Terry McLaurin's somebody I'm not finding so scary in week 16.
I kind of like McLaurin. I don't know about the matchup, but I got to tell you, the guy he catches the ball and he gets in the end zone, and that I don't know what more you can ask for. But I've been wrong before too many times. Joe, who do you got?
Like you, Greg, I also went the running back route. I decided that I'm going to sit Devon Achane. We have Jalen Waddle not practicing with a knee injury. So I just think that if he doesn't play, and he's likely not going to play, it's going to be easy for San Fran to focus in on Achane defensively. Also, over his last 4 games, he's only averaged 2.6 yards per carry. He's been involved in the passing game, and he probably will continue to be involved. But I think that San Fran is going to do a good enough job containing him this week, maybe limiting to him to like 3 to 4 catches as opposed to the 7 or 8 he's been getting. And if he doesn't get a touchdown, I could see him having a 10 to 12 point floor game. So the spike week from Achane, I just don't see it happening this week.
Okay, are you concerned about his explosive ability though? Because when you think about it, all he has to do is get one handoff, and he gets into that. Remember, you don't get a win unless he's outside the top 24 running backs.
Right.
Which means if he finishes with 12, 14 points, he might be in that 20 to 24 range.
Well, I think that's his ceiling. I'm thinking that's going to be his ceiling. I don't see him breaking off a big one against San Fran. They got too much chaos through the middle, too many layers. They're gonna make Miami dink and dunk. They're gonna make Tua beat them. And that's how I see this game playing out. San Fran's offense usually controls the pace of game, the clock too, against inferior opponents. And I I see San Fran handling Miami pretty easily this week.
Okay, well, Steven, who do you have?
Listen, I got to put it out there. When I did make this pick, I thought it was going to be Uncle Rico, a.k.a. Desmond Ritter, throwing the ball. So I was much more confident in sitting Brock Bowers this week, tight end 1. But with Aiden O'Connell looking like he's coming back, this could be a tougher pickup. But the last time Aiden O'Connell and Brock Bowers were on the field together, he did only produce around 8 fantasy points. So in a situation where you might have a possibility to pivot to, say, a Jonnu Smith here, I might go ahead and snag and roll with Jonnu over Brock this week. Aiden's coming off an injury. You just don't know how a quarterback's going to produce coming off injury. Jonnu's coming off of 20, 13, 21, and 23 points. And with Waddle out, most likely, I think this is something that you could pivot on. But I'm sitting Brock Bowers. Might kick me in the butt, but
Hey, I got to go a little bit on that Jonnu one. In the one game that he had the lowest amount of points, he didn't catch a ball until the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, and then he caught like 4 passes on that final drive and got in the end zone. I mean, prior to that, he was getting 10 to 12 targets per game. Yeah. If Jonnu Smith is available on your waiver wire, you need to get him now.
Especially with Waddle potentially not playing. I mean, he could be huge.
Absolutely. Even if Waddle plays, so he still gets used a lot, apparently. Yeah, I can't figure it out. I haven't watched. Have you watched the Miami games? Is he just getting wide open, or is it just that Tua's looking for it?
I've seen a few of the games just being on the East Coast, and he feels like a security blanket like Zach Ertz does to Jaden Daniels. He's just that guy that is going to consistently be in the middle and get thrown to and know that he's going to catch the ball. Jonnu's always been really good. I just don't think he's ever been respected enough to be the guy. And now he's older, so he's kind of past that prime, but he's fun to watch.
I also think it helps that he's lower in the pecking order as far as the offense goes. So the defense is going to, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to give you Jonnu Smith for 7 yards over the middle and take away the more explosive guys and Tyreek and Devon Achane.
And McDaniels is using Jonnu the way he said he would in the preseason. That's really what's coming down with us, right? He told us he was going to do this. No one believed him. And then he started doing it. Jonnu's always been a great pass catcher. Being a Patriots fan, it was exceptionally disappointing when he was here because they never threw him the ball. He's a good blocker too. He's just a good all-around tight end. I was super happy to see this guy start exploding on the scene again because he's good and it's worthy of how good he is, right? Like,
well, in redraft leagues next year, let me ask you, Mike, do you think Jonnu Smith becomes a top 5 drafted tight end?
Maybe. We'll see. Probably because of recency bias. Now, whether or not he'll deserve that, we don't know, right? Because tight end is an ever-changing and evolving position, it appears. We thought a lot of guys would be top 3 this year or top 5 this year that aren't. So, probably. I think he'll get drafted that way. Whether or not he'll perform that way again next year, I don't know, right? Like,
well, we got some time left, so I want to go back to everybody else's pick, and I want each of us to pick one pick that the other guys made that we really like, that we think has a good chance of being a stud to sit. And I got to tell you, last week when we did this, everybody loved Tipp's pick because he said to sit Josh Jacobs. That didn't work out so well. I'm sorry. Brock Bowers, to me, is a guy that has played extremely well, but the one I think is most likely to hit is Carlton. Joe Carlton's pick, Devon Achane. I love that pick. So since I picked yours, Joe, who do you pick? Other than yours, what stud to sit do you like the best?
Who did you pick, Greg?
Mixon.
So
I picked Mixon. Mike picked Terry McLaurin.
I think I'm going to side with Mike on this one. just because, for one thing, I respect when Mike says to sit a stud. He's pretty good at this. I read his article every week.
I have Joe Mixon in my article too, by the way, there, Joe.
Hey, I love to hear that.
So, yeah, but Mixon's more likely to find the end zone. He's going to have a chance to find the end zone, I should say. And just because Brock Bowers has had a couple of bad weeks, I think a bounce back week is coming this week. So I mean, this is a tough one all around without picking my own. So I'll go with Terry McLaurin.
All right, Mike, he chose yours. You've got to choose between Mixon, McLaurin, Achane, and Bowers. Who do you like?
Going with Mixon. I have Mixon as a sit this week too. It's a tough run defense that he's going up against. He's cleared to play, but he tweaked his ankle pretty good last week. So the combination of the tough defense and the potential for his ankle to bother him again is partly why I was saying he's a sit. It doesn't mean he's going to stink, right? It just means he's probably not going to produce what you expect expectation-wise from a typical Joe Mixon game this year, which has been excellent. So, 10 fantasy points or so, yeah, probably. 20 fantasy points? Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, he's not worth that. He's not worth that DraftKings price.
No, not at all.
You guys are referring to this daily fantasy sports that I haven't done yet, where you got to price on players. Steven, do you need to be reminded who was picked, or are you good?
No, I mean, I was gonna go with Joe Mixon. I mean, I think it just echoes the sentiment. The hip drop tackle was brutal, like they normally are, and those, it's a tough injury. I think he'll fight through it because they're fighting. I mean, I think they've got a playoff spot locked up, but they can move up to the third spot, which would be helpful, obviously. So I think he'll tough it out and play for the team. But last week he didn't look very spectacular, so I think Joe Mixon might struggle this week again.
I love it. I do. And now, in fairness to our guests and our guest host, I put in my selections first, so they couldn't take the players I picked. So I kind of got a heads up on that. Anyway, I think it's time for us to pay our bills. Iggy, do we have a commercial?
Find your win tuition and elevate your sports betting with Better Takes. Better Takes examines your betting history to uncover hidden areas that cause bankroll leaks. Uncover patterns and biases so you can break the cycle of mistakes, avoid weaknesses, and play into your strengths. Our advanced stats offer unparalleled granularity, helping you immediately spot problem areas that could be affecting your success. Use the Better Takes Edge score to gauge your expertise for each potential bet, providing clarity and confidence in your decisions. Take control of your betting journey. Download Better Takes from the Apple App Store or Google Play today and start understanding your biases for free. Before placing bets, check with Better Takes, a smarter, more informed approach to sports betting.
And our next segment? So just as it's important for your success to identifying studs to sit, you need to identify sleepers to start for them. And they can really make your week and eventually your year. Last week we were 2-2, which puts us at 24-36, 40% for the year. Now understand, it's a lot harder to pick a guy that's not top 12 quarterback, tight end, or top 24 running back, wide receiver that will finish in those ranges. So 40% I think is pretty good. And if you don't, please try it. Show me that you can do better and I'll bring you on the show gladly. Anyway, some players are screaming, "Put me in, coach!" And these are the players we heard. Now for me, I went with the 27th ranked running back, Rico Dowdle. Now the reason I went with Rico is because the guy has been simply amazing. He hasn't been a TD monster rushing the ball. He only has one rushing TD. and that came against the Giants 3 weeks ago. So why start him? Well, his last 4 games, he has at least 18 carries and his top 20 touches in all but one game. He has 3 receiving TDs, so he can score both on the ground and through the air. And as Cooper Rush has improved, so has Dowdle's yardage. He has over 110 rushing yards in 3 straight games. All right. So he's getting the touches and he's getting the yardage, and he also faces Tampa Bay this week. And while the Bucs are a top 3rd defense versus running backs, their offense is so explosive. I'm expecting Dallas to adopt a run-centric game script to help keep the ball away from Baker Mayfield in that offense. And I just want to know what you think. Let's go to Steve first this time.
Perfect. I love it. I'm going with wide receiver 32, Devonta Smith this week. Listen, he's catching the attention that he deserves. I think he went from 6 targets each of the last 3 weeks, and then this past week he doubled that up and got 12 targets. I think a complaining A.J. Brown, a not 100% healthy A.J. Brown is helping this out, and the fact that Greg Calcaterra is not demanding targets, I think helps Smith. They're playing Washington, middle of the pack defense, a little bit better against wide receivers than against running backs, but still not a all elite defense all around. So I think Smith is, being wide receiver 32 is someone that you can absolutely plug and play. Somebody that actually I need to make a decision on that maybe we could talk about later. You guys could help me out if I'm going to play him in my semifinals or not. So roll with Devonta Smith, and I think you're going to do fine.
Are you not concerned that the Eagles get a lead and then just give the ball to Saquon the rest of the game? I mean, between Saquon and Jalen Hurts, that running game ought to eat up that Washington defense.
It definitely a concern, but my hopes is that it's a higher scoring game than a lower scoring game. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think it was a juggernaut the last time they played. I know Washington lost, but if it's a battle, because I know Washington is fighting for a spot to stay alive in the playoffs, you're really hoping for a high scoring game. And I think if that's the case, they're going to have to throw the ball. And I think Smith should benefit from that.
Oh, very cool. Joe, what do you got?
I went with wide receiver 42, Xavier Worthy, simply because he has seen an increase in opportunity in 2 consecutive games. In week 14, he had 83% snap share, and in week 15, 85% snap share. And in those 2 games, he amassed 17 targets, 3 of them being red zone targets, 11 catches, 87 yards, and he also added 4 carries for 35 yards and a rushing touchdown. They've made it clear. They clearly are making an effort to get the ball in his hands. And with Patrick Mahomes being a little bit banged up, I could see them looking to make some quick passes. So I could see Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce getting more looks this game. Marquise Brown is supposed to play, but I could see him being eased in, not really being heavily targeted, maybe downfield a couple of times. So I think it would take for him to be effective. It would take a big play touchdown. This was also at this point last year, Rashee Rice started to take off. So I kind of think that he's following in the same footsteps, and he's going to see he's going to have high volume. I could see him finishing with eight catches for 82 yards, and I think he finds the end zone one way or another, whether he gets the rushing touchdown or the receiving touchdown.
I like the call, especially since I've heard that Mahomes is expecting to play, but are you not concerned that Mahomes might not play or might not finish if he does start?
Yeah. So I still think that they're going to find ways to get the ball in his hand just because he's the most explosive guy they have on offense right now. And they relied on him the last 2 games. And even if Mahomes is out, I could see them still, finding ways to get him the ball.
Do you see him getting more targets than DeAndre Hopkins?
Or
do you think it's about a 50-50?
About a 50-50 targets. I bet you he comes down with more catches than DeAndre Hopkins does, though.
Really?
Yes.
I would think with equal opportunity, DeAndre's the better catcher of the ball, and Xavier is the more explosive player.
So if Mahomes is 100% healthy, I might agree with that, but I just think that they're going to be operating quicker plays. D-Hop's going to get his, but I just think this is going to be more of a worthy game. Just because of his playmaking skills. D-Hop will be relied upon to get the first downs, to move the chains. But as far as the flow of the offense, I'm thinking this is going through Xavier Worthy this week.
Okay, so the only reason I'm asking you this next question is because we have some time. Okay, I told you to watch the clock. You've got some time. So Noah Gray or Travis Kelce, who gets the score this week?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Kelce because I think for the same reason, Mahomes is gonna go to his gravy this week, 100%.
I actually heard a rumor, and I want to bring in Mike and Steven on this one, that Kelce, this might be his last year. Now, I had thought he wanted to play 2 more years. Mike, Steven, let's go Mike first and then Steven. Have you guys heard anything about Kelce stepping away from the game?
I haven't heard anything about that, but he's not getting any younger. He looks kind of old on the field this year. Noah Gray is getting a lot of targets in the red zone, obviously, lately, right? The past 5 or 6 games. He's open too, obviously, because like Kelce and Hopkins and those guys demand coverage. But yeah, I could see it. Kelce doesn't look nearly as fast or as sharp on the field. I've watched a few games. I'm a Patriots fan, as I said, but I'm kind of hoping they three-peat because everybody hates them so much. And yeah, he just doesn't look that good this year. Granted,
Well,
I'll throw that Hopkins doesn't either. They both look old.
I hope they get to the Super Bowl and then lose to my Lions. But Steven,
I would like that.
I haven't heard it, but what does he have to prove? I think he's at a point in the season where he realizes this is just really tough on his body. And if he's got one of the most famous women on his right hand, and like the future's bright after football for him, no matter what he does. So if he does retire, I don't think any of us are surprised. He's done everything as a tight end. He has nothing to prove to anybody. Go off into the sunset with one of the most famous
Tipp
women
actually
ever.
blames Taylor Swift for his fall off this year.
Listen, some of the best women in the world, some of the best women in the world are to blame for the downfall of some of the greatest men, and that's okay because that's how the world goes round.
It is. So we're going to start our last segment, our mailbag, early so that if there's some questions in the chat, we can get to it. But also so we have time to talk about tonight's game at the end of the show. So, Iggy, bring us to the next segment. Okay, so in our mailbag section, all the questions are either from the Facebook Fantasy Situm Stardom group or direct mail or DMs. You can mail us at tc_booking@yahoo.com. We don't really get anything there. Or you can contact Tipp Major at Tipp, Tipp, Major, Major, or Gregory L. Kellogg on Twitter or X, and send us your questions. And if you get it to us by Tuesday or Wednesday, we can either put it into our Thursday afternoon show or into this show. I tell Tipp is the one that makes the decisions, so send them to him. But I tell him basically save the hardest ones for the later show because this is our signature show. Anyway, Tipp assigns specific questions to specific people, and he also assigns decides where the questions go. So if a question is collective, that means we want everybody to answer it. And our first question is collective. And we're going to start with Karma Bongo with Mahomes probably out. See, he's made that mistake already. I need help at quarterback. Don't have much to choose from. Winston, Rodgers, Wilson, Young, or May. And I'm going to start with, let's go with our Joe first, Stephen. Who do you got of those quarterbacks?
So I don't even think Winston's not even playing. That's been determined. So we don't even have to go with that. I kind of like how Bryce is playing right now. You said Bryce Young was one of the options, right?
It is, yeah.
I think the benching might have been the best thing for him, and he sort of clicked. And the fact that Adam Thielen is just catching every single thing that's put towards him, you love to see a 34-year-old still just be able to catch everything. He's gassed after every catch, but he still catches everything in a vacuum. I think if you're going for high upside and hoping that, like of going for the boom rather than the bust, I take a dice roll on Bryce here.
Okay. Me, first, I expect Mahomes to play. But just in case, I like the way Rodgers has played the past 2 weeks. He has 30-plus pass attempts in each of those past 3 games. He has 8 TDs in the past 4 games. He has good receivers and a coaching staff that isn't using the running game at all. Tipp brings this up all the time. I think the Jets are averaging 21 rushing attempts per game, and that's all backs, including the quarterback scrambles. So, I just think the Rams gave up 340-plus yards and 3 TDs to the Bills 2 weeks ago, and while Rodgers isn't Allen, I think 250-2 is a reasonable expectation. Now, Stephen, what do you think? Or did I go to Stephen already?
You
already hit me up.
All right, let's go to Michael. Sorry.
I'm with Rodgers on this one as well. So the Rams give up the 9th most fantasy points opposing teams' quarterbacks. It's the second easiest matchup he's had since the very beginning of the season. People don't understand how tough the schedule's been for Rodgers. I'm not a Rodgers guy, by the way, and I hate him. Every time I trust him like I am this week, he fails me. But I think it's a 220, 250 yards, 2-touchdown game for him as well against the Rams. And I think even though the Jets defense is good, you're going to have to throw the ball to stay in the game with the Rams because they're going to come out and try to win this game. They're trying to stay in the hunt as well. So there's something to play for, right? And that's how I see this playing out also.
All right, Joe, do you have any thoughts?
I'm going to give a Homer biased opinion here and go with Drake May.
That was my second choice, Joe.
Now, wait a minute. You got to explain the Homer bias.
I'm going to right now. So I might be in the minority here, but I think the Patriots cover the 14 points. And I just think that the Buffalo defense at times this year have played down to their competition. And, of course, Josh Allen is going to put up 30, 40 points against us, and it's going to allow for some garbage time. It's going to allow Drake May to open it up. And, I guess I'll throw in the speculation that Gerard Mayo is coaching for his job and the offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, as well. So I think they're going to – and there's only 2 games left in the season – or 3 games left in the season. And I just think that Drake May's rushing upside is what sets him apart from Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. And Jameis Winston's not playing. So that's the difference for me. The rushing, I expect them to get 50 or 60 rushing yards this game. I think he's gonna have zero leash. They're gonna be pulling out all the stops and
who's he throwing to? DeMario Douglas?
Demar is hopefully boot. Maybe this will be the game Kayshon Boutte catches some balls. But I think
his name.
I think
pass the booty.
I think between the Patriots defense and Drake May that they're going to scrape together 3 touchdowns and cover that 14 points.
Okay, well, let's go to the next question then. And Joe, I'm going to start with you. Oh no, this one's for Mike. Doug wants to know Tony Pollard or Jerome Ford full PPR.
Jerome Ford. Tony Pollard got dinged up last week. I don't know how healthy he is right now, by the way. I think he's practicing. He's probably going to play. Spears had 53% of the snaps last week as well. Meanwhile, Jerome Ford played against the toughest defense against the run and had 104 yards.
He had 7 for 84
104 yards and a touchdown,
yeah.
Right? This week he's playing against the Bengals, middle of the pack defense against the run. Changed to Dorian Thompson, whatever the heck his name is. Sorry.
DTR.
But we've seen Ford produce in the past. He was solid but not good earlier this season when Watson was the quarterback. He was better last season towards the end of the year. So I really like Ford to get some touches this week. I think you're looking at a 20-touch week for him in a matchup that he can win. So I lean Jerome Ford there.
All right, so he only had 7 carries last week.
Mm-hmm.
He did get 84 yards and a TD. Are you expecting him to get, 5 catches in the passing game?
I'm expecting him to have around 20 touches. I don't think I want to play Jerry Jeudy or Elijah Moore this week. I think we're looking at the offense running through David Njoku and Jerome Ford as far as where they're going, right? It's going to be more short passes, tight end, probably out in the flat to Ford and some runs. You can move the ball on the Bengals. Their defense has played really good, by the way, the last few weeks. But I think they're going to move the ball on them still this week. They'll probably turn it over here and there. But
do you see this as a shootout? And if so, would you take the over? And I don't know what the points are for the two teams, but would you go over on the points?
I don't think I'd go over on the points. I think the Bengals are probably going to get up and stay up, and that the Browns are going to try to chase. But I also think the Browns are going to try to control that clock a little bit because I don't know. I don't think they can keep up with the Bengals offense. I mean, this is a great week to play Jamar Chase, by the way, as well.
Oh,
throw it in
good to
extra.
know. All right, so the next one's for Steve. Reloy asks, pick 2 of these 3 players, Terry McLaurin, Drake London, or Cortland Sutton in a full PPR.
Well, I really love Cortland. I think this guy's balling right now. He's got a connection with Knicks against a Chargers defense that we saw can get lit up last week. And that matchup's playing tonight. Sutton's found the end zone a lot this year, more so than we've seen in the past. A beautiful resurgence from a guy that should have been a stud. What were the other 2 again? I'm sorry.
Terry McLaurin and Drake London.
Jeez. I mean, you got to go. I think Scary Terry here. We just don't know what Penix is. A high drafted quarterback. So I think I'm a little nervous there on anything other than Bijan in that offense, at least this week. And I think Scary has proven this year that he can do it. It's obviously a very tough matchup. Mike has talked about being scared, not being scared, but, trying to find other ways to pivot from McLaurin. But between those options, I think I would trust Jaden Daniels and McLaurin over Penix and London.
Okay, so I looked and I'm trying to make sure that my numbers are right. But I looked, I think, at the last 2 games I'll type it later. For McLaurin, I've got him 18 targets, 15 catches, 146 yards, and 4 TDs. Yes, he's going against Philadelphia. Sutton, 18 targets, 9 catches, 134 yards, and 1 TD. And London, 13 targets, 8 receptions, 123 and 1. How do you have McLaurin on your bench if he scored 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games?
Every week's a new week.
It has
Depends
McLaurin
on if you
scored?
have anything to pivot to, though, as well, right? If you're playing season long, do you have actually options you can pivot to? Probably not, right? You're probably playing Terry McLaurin and riding this out.
Yeah, McLaurin's actually scored 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games, with 1, 2, and 2. I like Scary Terry. I was surprised when he was named a stud to sit this week, to be honest.
Against Philly last time, he had 1 catch, 10 yards.
Yeah, I agree, and that was the last time, and we'll see. I think that the rookie quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and Drake May, have all improved over the year. Now, I don't think that their numbers have necessarily improved, but I think their reading of the game has, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah,
But we'll see. And I love Sutton. I agree with your Sutton take. I just think McLaurin and Sutton are the 2 that I would play. The next question's for me. Moi. Mike wants to know, this is my championship week, and I made it thanks to your help last week. Well, you're very welcome. This week, who are you choosing between Sam Darnold or Jordan Love? So I went back and I looked again the last 2 weeks. Darnold's 48 of 68 with 578 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 pick. He's got a bad matchup versus Chicago. He had a bad game versus Chicago. Love 32-47, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He had 2 TDs versus Seattle. I think Darnold has the better receivers. I don't think Green Bay's got great receivers, don't get me wrong. But when you're talking about JJ and Addison and Hawkinson, I don't think the Green Bay receivers match up to those 3 guys. Love and the Packers could go run heavy against the Saints in Green Bay. Number one, it's supposed to be cold and overcast with light winds. But the Saints also, who's their quarterback? Spencer Rattler?
How many guys from the start of the season in that offense are still playing? I mean,
yeah, and
Kamara, skill positions,
And Kamara may not even play this week. We don't know right now.
He's out.
Kamara's doubtful, yeah. He's doubtful.
Oh, yeah, so now questionable, 72% of questionable players end up playing. But doubtful,
they're saying
doubtful, only about 20% end up playing. So the chances are Kamara won't be playing. So what really do the Saints have? I think Green Bay gets an early lead and just Josh Jacobs goes to town. They just give the ball to Jacobs and only pass when they absolutely need to. So I'm going Darnold in this one. I like Sam Darnold this week, and it hurts me to say that because I really want JJ to be the Minnesota quarterback next year when he's back. And the way Darnold's playing, it's not going to be given to him. So, Joe, Steven wants to know Green Bay Packers defense or the Buffalo Bills for this week.
This was a fairly easy question in my opinion. You just talked about it. Kamara's out. Spencer Rattler's the quarterback. Packers have a top 5 fantasy defense as far as fantasy points go. Don't get cute here and think that Buffalo against Drake May is the better play. Play Green Bay against New Orleans, and that's it. That's basically it. It's a no-brainer for me.
Okay, so now that's basically our show. Guys, was there anything in the chat? I thought I saw at least
There
one
were a
question.
couple. There were a couple questions.
All right, Iggy, can you put them up on screen for us? Okay, Lions aren't making it to the NFC check. That's not a question. All right. How's this for a Week 16 question? Running back, half-point PPR, Kendre Miller, Breece Hall, Justice Hill, or Kenneth Walker? Well, if Walker's playing, for me, it's him. If it's the other guys, I'm taking Hall slightly over Justice Hill, but it's really slight. How about you, Mike?
Walker, definitely, if he's playing. I think he's playing, by the way, and I'm glad because I need him in a semifinal. Then Breece. It looks like Kamara's going to be out, by the way. Schefter says he might be out for the season, not just this week. He's getting a second opinion. I'd probably take Kendre Miller over Justice Hill. We know if game script permits, Justice Hill could outscore everybody, but that's only if they're behind in their passing, right? So I don't know if that's going to happen. So I go Walker, Hall, Miller, Hill.
Steven?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most sense right there. I mean, if Walker's healthy, you're definitely playing him. Hall's been kind of boom or bust, boom more recently, but
Mostly bust.
if you have Hall on your team this year, you're very sad because you took him early. But yeah, I'd say Walker, Hall, Miller, Hill for sure.
All right, and you, Joe?
Same thing, Kenneth Walker. And I actually like Justice Hill more than Kendre Miller. New Orleans' offense is just depleted, and I don't see them getting anything going this week against Green Bay. Josh Jacobs is going to run away with the clock.
All right,
Yeah.
Do we have another one? Iggy? I'm a Dolphins fan. In order for them to make the playoffs, they either need Broncos to lose 3-3 or Chargers to lose 2-3. Broncos, Pats, and Raiders, what's more likely? I don't know. I've got no
I think it's more.
Steve,
I
what do
think
you
it's
think?
more. I think
Go ahead,
it's more
Steve.
likely. I think it's more likely that the Chargers lose the next 2 out of the 3 than the Broncos losing 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think
Right?
either.
Broncos are
I'm
going
reading
to win
it.
tonight.
I
Broncos.
don't think either one is particularly likely. How about you, Joe?
They got to beat San Francisco first, and I don't think they beat San Francisco. So none of that really matters in my opinion.
Mike, do you agree?
I don't see the Broncos losing all 3 of those games. I would say it's more likely the Chargers lose 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but who are they going to lose to?
They're going to lose tonight.
They could
Yeah,
lose
you
tonight.
think.
lose tonight to the Broncos more than likely.
Yeah, I
Are
think
they
so
going to
too.
lose to the Pats?
There's
Are
a
they gonna
world. Yeah,
lose to
there's a
the
world where the
Raiders?
Pats could beat them.
We-
I think so.
we-
Oh,
New
come
York
on. You're a New
Patriots fans
Englander.
on
I know
the
that.
The Patriots held Justin Herbert to 6 points,
Yeah,
7 points
that would have
last
been
year.
Boston. Don't give me that. You got to remember, the Pats are being quarterbacked by Drake May, not Tom Brady. It's not Tom Brady anymore. Oh,
Real quick, Greg, I have a
Well,
question. If
all
I'm
right.
allowed to ask a question after.
okay, we'll do it right after this one. Sniper
Yeah.
Mail, pick 2, Pacheco, Harris, Henry. I'm not sitting Henry anytime, especially after a bad game. So now it's Pacheco or Harris. I'm probably going Najee Harris. I like Najee. Let's go to you, Steve.
Yeah, I think I'm going Najee. You saw Pacheco. He's like 2 weeks back in, and he split carries. I think him and Hunt both had 13 last week. That's just not going to be conducive for a productive fantasy day. Najee is still getting the bulk. I'm not thrilled with Najee, but I think if I need to pick 2, I'm probably rolling Harris and Henry there.
How about you, Mike? Sorry. I'm getting Steve and Mike mixed up in my head.
I'm sitting Pacheco here. He seems to be part of a 3-headed running back by committee right now. P. Ryan's getting some snaps as well, and they're touching the ball. He hasn't produced 10 fantasy points yet or 15 fantasy points yet since he's been back. They're probably trying to save him for the playoffs. So I'm going with Najee, and I wouldn't sit Derrick Henry ever.
Joe?
I like Najee's long.
Yes, same thing. Henry and Harris.
Okay, so now the only reason I cut that short is because we need to wrap up this show so that we can do the watch party afterwards.
We have so much time. I mean, we still have so much time. And
But we can answer the questions during the watch party. I'll stick around for the watch party part, for the first part of the watch party, and answer the questions. But I got to plug next week's show. I mean, that's it. I want to thank our guests. I thank Michael and Steve, thank you so much. And Joe, thank you for filling in. Those who don't know, I'm going to the Philippines in February. We're going to ask Joe to take my spot on the show while I'm gone. So if Joe can do it, I really like it. Next week, regular time, 7 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday night, our guest is going to be Jeremy Schulman, FF Rebel of Fantasy Pros, and Glenn Carant, DNA Profiling, as our Joe. That's it for this show. We're going to close it, but stay on the line because right after they run the outro, we'll be back with the watch party.
I just want to say, by the way, real quick, George Pickens is been ruled out, so there's another reason to start Najee. Yes.
And we're back for the watch party.
Yes. Watch party. All right, dude. I'm stoked for tonight's game. Oh, so this could be a really fun one. I did see LaDainian Tomlinson. I saw Mel didn't know who LT was. LaDainian Tomlinson is at the game, so it could be interesting. But I do think that the Broncos, man, Bo Nix, I am really upset that the Vikings decided to draft the Michigan cat who couldn't throw over 3,000 yards. But that's besides the point. I would rather have had Bo Nix on our team. But yeah, he has been, oh my goodness, he's been crazy good. But I guess you could also say that a certain coach does like to bring in young talent and turn them into superstar quarterbacks.
Hey, JC, I know it's your show, but can we do some of the questions out of the chat while we've still got Steve and Mike here?
Yes, I see we have a couple questions here. So here's the first one. Who is getting the start in the flex? Shakir, Madison, Miller, or Tracy Jr.? Full PPR. So whoever wants to go with it, go ahead.
I could go first. I don't mind. I think for me, if Tracy Jr. is healthy, if he's logged a couple full practices, I really love Tracy Jr. and his game. And I think as bad as Drew Lock is, I think he isn't going to have many options other than Malik Neighbors to dump the ball off to Tracy. So if he's healthy, it's Tracy Jr. for me. But then I think
Shakir for me.
Yeah.
I like Josh Allen. He just torched my Lions, so I like Shakir.
I like Shakir as well with the volume he's getting for targets. He's leading that team in targets. And believe it or not, after him, Tracy's got a kind of bitch of a matchup.
Yeah.
Madison has a very easy matchup and a very high floor, probably looking at 10 to 12 points. I don't ever expect this guy to get you like 25 points, but his floor is nice and high. He's solid.
I agree.
Yeah, Madison, right?
Yeah, Madison.
I like Madison as well. I will say this though, if you have kick return yards points, Kendre Miller is definitely in consideration.
Let's go back to the other question because it's quick and easy.
Yes.
Strange or Pitts. I just don't trust Pitts, and then you got a rookie quarterback starting the first time. I go with Strange, but if you can get Smart, I really like what Smart looks like.
Smart has to be plugged in soon.
I think so. Start two. We'll go with Steve first, and then Mike. Standard scoring: Cup versus the Jets, Wilson versus the Rams, McConkey versus the Broncos, or Jacoby Myers versus the Jaguars. Steve?
I'm rolling McConkey tonight. I think he's just going to get a ton of targets. And I think Cup, I think he's due for a bounce back. I don't think he's done yet. I think that's just maybe hopeful and wishful thinking. I don't think Puka's kind of taken over that team, but I'd go Cup and McConkey here.
Okay, I'm going McConkey, but I'm going Garrett Wilson. How about you, Mike? Are you going to break the tie?
I'm going to break the tie because I'm going McConkey and Garrett Wilson as well. I just think Wilson sees a ton of targets lately from Aaron Rodgers, and so does McConkey. So the volume for both is just too high for me to pass on.
Joe, do you agree, disagree?
I agree with McConkey and Garrett Wilson.
How about you, JC?
Honestly, I don't hate on Jacoby Myers this week if Aiden O'Connell's back because he is.
I like him more too.
You know,
it's tough to play him over McConkey and Garrett Wilson though.
I don't know. Broncos defense, man, they're pretty scary, man. They've been tearing it up. So,
well, but they have their second corner is out this week, and Pat Surtain was hurt. He is playing, but he was damaged last week. So
I don't know, man. I was never really a big Herbert fan, so I do like it.
I love Herbert. Herbert's rookie year, he set records. How many rookie quarterbacks you know that have 30 touchdown passes? He did.
That's all right.
All right. McConkey, Jennings, or Shakir. I would probably go Shakir, McConkey, and then Jennings. Mike, how about you?
I don't want any part of Jennings this week, so I like Shakir, McConkey, and then Jennings as well, in that order.
Steve?
Yeah, I gotta go McConkey still. I think he's going to get hyper targeted Shakir than Jennings, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jennings has a big game. I mean, Deebo Samuels is a nothing burger lately, so they got to throw the ball to somebody. And with Guerrero likely not playing, I mean, it's who is it? Kittle and Jennings. You know,
three out of his last 4 games, Jennings hasn't surpassed 7 fantasy points. So it just hasn't been working lately. That's right. I have him as a heartbreaker in my article. That's how come I know that. I'm just out on him this week.
Joe?
I'll go McConkey, Jennings, Shakir. I'm actually down on Shakir this week because I think that James Cook is going to be heavily involved, and I think we're going to get a Keon Coleman breakout game as well.
There you go.
Now, we always say, if you've ever been to a concert that has multiple acts, the headline act always goes last, right? So we save JC for last.
I mean, I agree with Joe. I agree with Joe here. I think that we're going to see a big game from Cook, and Shakir is going to be out this week. He's not going to be the odd man out there.
Game scripted out.
Okay. So, Prison Mike, I don't know how you even say those other 2 names with Ford. I'm sorry. So it's Kendre Miller, Abdullah, or Jerome Ford. For me, it's Ford. Steve, you go next.
Yeah, I'm rolling Ford here. It wouldn't shock me if Miller has a decent game, but I don't think it's going to surpass Ford at all. I think the game.
I don't think they have a passing attack to open up the game for Miller. How about you, Mike?
Ford is the guy I'm playing here. The other 2 guys aren't even close. Miller and Abdullah could both have good games. It's true, they could, but it's not as likely as Ford having a good game, right? This is kind of like the process beats results no matter what type of conversation, right? Like you shouldn't consider those guys in the same league as Ford this week. At least
Joe?
I think Ford's the only one that can get you 20 points for a ceiling, so that's it.
So now we've got 2 headliners. Iggy, who do you got?
Like for Ford, between these 3?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to go Ford, right? He's just going to get a lot of volume. I don't know. I think they're not going to pass at all. I feel bad for people that had Jerry Jeudy and, were doing well because it's just DTR is going to run and
they're going to throw the ball 20 times. He's going to drop back 20 times. Now, he may not throw it 20 times, but there will be 20 dropbacks. He may run 5 or 6, but he'll have 15 pass attempts. Everybody in the NFL gets that.
Jordan Love's hasn't had as many lately. They've just been running.
Yeah,
but he's going to get 20 attempts. Jordan Love is.
Tim Tebow's the only one.
And then we didn't get to Steve's question either. Steve, do you remember? Do you got your question still?
Oh, that's right. Steve, what's your question?
I do. Semifinals, full PPR. I got to make a decision between Devonta Smith or Jaden Reed.
Oh, see, to me that's easy. So yeah. I'm gonna go last on this one. Let's go with Mike first.
See, that's exactly what my cheeks did.
I'm going Smith. Reed. The problem for me with the Packers is there's so many mouths to feed there. I don't know who's going to get fed every single week,
Josh
right?
Jacobs.
So
Who's next?
Reedy?
Yeah.
Reedy?
I mean, I got a cheesehead back there, but I'm going Smith because Reed is the gadget guy. Dobbs is the alpha. Like his third down, he's going to look at Dobbs. Whenever he needs to go to the end zone, he's going to look at Dobbs. Watson's the big play guy. So I don't think the Packers are going to need gadgets this week to get past the Saints. So I much prefer Smith. I mean, he could just get played out. We don't know how Barkley's doing, but Gainwell's, for dynasty purposes, I've loved Gainwell for a long time. But this game, give me Smith.
Joe?
Devonta Smith as well for me. Like I said earlier, Green Bay's going to run the clock out. They have no need to use Jaden Reed. If there's a big play, it'll be Christian Watson. Same thing with Ziggy said. He nailed it on the head.
Whatever happened to Wicks? JC, who you got?
Yeah, I agree 100% here. I think to me it's going to be a huge Josh Jacobs week. There's no reason to use, like everyone else has kind of said here, a gadget player. And I don't know where Wicks is. Wicks is the 4 guy, He comes in when somebody else is hurt. He's there.
He's on my taxi squad. That's where he's at.
Steve, it's
I want Wicks
unanimous.
to do well so badly.
Steve, it's unanimous. We're all saying Devontae Smith, and you know what that means, right?
Yeah, you got to play Reed.
You better go with Jaden Reed.
Yeah, Reed's going to run a jet sweep and get a touchdown, about a 40-yarder.
Yeah, he's got 4 or 5 touchdowns this week because we all went with
if you guys want an even harder question here, I have to choose between Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, or Kyler Murray.
Oh, that's not hard.
Jaden Daniels.
Say it again.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Kyler Murray,
not hard.
or Jordan Love.
Okay, first of all, just scratch Kyler Murray
That is
out
hard.
Out of your mind.
Jordan Love's going to get game scripted out.
5'10" running quarterback. Get rid of him. He's going to be too up and down. You'll never know when to play him. Just scratch him from your mind. Now, Jordan Love could have a big game, but nobody's expecting it this week because it's going to be a run script. It's going to be a run-heavy script. Jaden Reed is a top 5 quarterback. Jaden Daniels, top 5 quarterback. There's a reason he's top 5. So to me, it's easy. Now, do you agree with me, Mike?
I'm playing Daniels. Kyler Murray has his easiest matchup of the season, by the way. That's why Steve's thinking about it. I knew it, Steve. I see you nodding. I have him as a moneymaker in my DFS article. I like him. But what Greg's saying is, as great as the matchup is, and it's his easiest of the season, one thing we all know about Kyler Murray is he could totally just crap out on you.
Right.
Okay,
Greg,
Joe.
I'm wrong. That's where you're going, right? Like, it doesn't matter how great the matchup is. He can still crap out.
Oh, yeah.
Joe?
Jaden Daniels for me. He's got the highest ceiling. Jordan Love's going to get game scripted out, and I'm not very confident in Kyler Murray. He could play. He could have 2 really good quarters and then 2 quarters not get you anything. So if that's the case, I'm going with the better ranked player there.
Iggy, you're the Packer fan. Are you going to sit Jordan Love for?
I'm lone wolfing it over here, Greg, because I'm going Kyler Murray, man, against the Panthers. I just need they're gonna load up the box to start Connor, dude. Like, that's gonna be the plan. They're gonna try to shut him down, even though they weren't able to do it against the Cowboys. They can still load the box. They're thin at linebacker, really thin. But I think Kyler Murray's gonna bust off about 70, 80 yards rushing, man, and throw for a touchdown or 2. So I'm leaning Murray because
JC, what are you doing?
Eagles defense. I mean, you heard Mike say that they're going to shut down wide receiver 1. I don't know that that's true or not, but I don't think Daniels is going to have a great game against the Eagles when the Eagles are playing for the first seed of the NFC conference.
He got lucky to scratch 13 points the last time they played, and that was like in garbage time. I get it. I think I'm rolling Daniels because, like you said, he is just top
He's
5.
Number 5 for a reason. JC, do you agree with Daniels or do you agree with Iggy? Or do you go with Love?
I don't know if I want to go Love just because I feel so strongly about Josh Jacobs this week that I think that Jordan Love could get 200 yards passing, a touchdown, and then it's just like enough to where they just get it close enough to where it's like Jacobs punching it in, 2 touchdowns this week. But
Hey, before we go further, this guy up in the top left-hand corner for me, JC, is a great graphics designer, and he is making some T-shirts with some great, not animation, but like cartoon artwork that are team oriented with cats.
Yeah, in space.
Cats, man. But anyway, if you've got a favorite team, get in touch with JC, and he will create a shirt for you. Yeah, you got to pay for it, of course, but send some business JC's way.
I just Iggy, I just did a Packers one. Well, I'll show you all the Packers one. It's kind of
I just want to say kickoff, Broncos are kicking to the Chargers. A lot of orange in that stadium. I don't know how Jerry Jones convinced 2 owners to put their teams in LA. Good on him.
The worst has a question, guys. AC joint issue, knee joint, and they took it down so I can't see it. So he could show his. See, that's the type of thing you can get on a T-shirt for the Packers. Okay. So do you start Britton Strange, Kate Otten, or I couldn't even see who the last one was.
Chico Conquo.
I'm going Kate Otten here. I like Strange. Otten he's used a lot. Now I realize that Jalen McMillan is getting a lot more looks over the middle, short, and so he's eating into Otten's touches. But I just trust him more than I do Chig, and Britton is just a little too strange for me.
Mike? I'm going Brenton Strange. Mac Jones is heavily targeting him.
Yes.
And BTJ, I mean, he just throws the ball to those 2 guys. Jones has something to play for, so I think he's going to keep doing that.
All right, let's go, Joe.
I'm with Brenton Strange as well. I actually almost picked Brenton Strange as my sleeper, so I'm pretty high on him for the same reasons Mike mentioned. Mac Jones has been peppering him. That's his safety valve. 12 targets last week, and he's probably going to get double digit targets again.
They think he's Evan Ingram. He thought it was Evan Ingram out there, and that's why he gave him a target. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you got to roll Strange. Mac Jones is kind of trying to prove something right now, hopefully to find maybe a new team or somewhere to go, and he's playing it safe. Otten always has the chance to go off, though, and Baker's a baller, so I think you're going to go Strange for the fact that, you'll probably be safer, but Otten could go for, 65.
Nobody's going for Chig. Iggy, are you doing Chig?
I mean, I had him last week, and he held me advanced to week 16. He had a good game. You got Mason Rudolph coming in. I think that's an improvement from Will Levis, but I mean, I can't go against something that's hot, man. It's just when you're like the Jerry Reed song, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. And right now, Strange is hot. So, you got to go with it. Quick 3 and out by the Chargers in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Broncos all over them.
Guys, I've got a dash. You're in great hands with JC, Iggy, and if Mike and Steve and Joe want to hang on, I'm sure you guys love to have them. But I'll see you next week, folks.
Thanks for having
Greg.
me, guys.
See you later, Greg.
Got to drop too.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. You'll be at it. I got you, Greg.
Got the tree of life behind them too. I love that.
Yeah, I saw that back there.
All right, everybody's out. Should I be out?
Hang out, dude. We're just chilling. I'm gonna pull up the game real quick so we have that so people can kind of
the little box score.
I had a lineup question too. You guys want to help me out, maybe?
Heck yeah,
absolutely, man.
All right, so I don't think I have the balls to sit Lamar, but I have Lamar and Baker Mayfield. It's a 3-week shootout. It's a 3-week shootout, so every point counts. What do you guys think? Lamar versus Pittsburgh, Baker versus Dallas.
Well, here's my thought on Lamar.
6-point passing touchdowns. I'll throw that in there too.
well, you gotta. I don't think that Pittsburgh does a lot this week. They're gonna be without their main wide receiver. I mean, I don't know how well Russell Wilson's gonna do without Pickens being there.
Yeah, they beat them last time they played though, so I mean, I don't know, but
I know,
yeah.
but
So what, you have to start this quarterback for 3 weeks then?
No. It's a 3-week shootout, so every point counts. I'm just trying to look. So Lamar scored the only game that Lamar had less than 20 points was against Pittsburgh the last time he played.
Yeah.
And
is it in Pittsburgh?
No, it's in Baltimore. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
in Baltimore. Yeah.
I think I'd be okay starting. I think one thing that I would go look at.
I have Baker started in 2 playoff leagues.
Yeah.
So.
I got a question earlier from somebody. It was, who would you start, Jordan Love or Baker? And I'm like, I think the upside is Baker Mayfield.
That's definitely Baker. Yeah.
The upside is insane with Baker Mayfield. Even, when Mike
Evans has another 2 touchdown week though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. When Mike Evans is there, I think he is just so his ego is just, it's just up. He just feels so more, secure. He feels like, all right, I got Mike here. If something goes wrong, I can just throw to Mike. And Mike's always.
And there's no Trevon Diggs. Like, they're not going to be able to stop Mike Evans.
McMillan
that's what I'm saying. That's really a tough decision.
He's also
been. I think it's a good position to be in. I don't think either one of them will let you down, but I think it's just so hard to sit Lamar, dude. I mean, he's going for another MVP.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Coming off the five touchdown passes.
If he surpasses, I mean, I bet on him for over 4,000 yards to begin the season, and he needs 420 yards in 3 games. So I think he can get it there in 2. And I think he's going to have another great performance. He's going to make it to where he gets a few first place votes for the MVP at minimum.
I had him having a career year passing this year as well. I mean, everybody thought they were going to be run heavy, like crazy run heavy, because they added Derrick Henry. But I think they added Derrick Henry to help him out in the passing game, and it seems to be true because he's finding the open targets, whether it's Bateman, Andrews, or Zay Flowers. He's been pretty consistent passing the ball, with the exception of a couple of games.
And they got that young kid Likely too.
Yeah, he gobbles up anything near him too. So,
who was the rookie they drafted, the wide receiver? His name's Walker, right? And I finally got best ball points from him last week. I was like, thanks for nothing. And, Bateman, though, bro, your guy, dude. You should have held on to all those cards.
Dude, if you want to talk about best ball, man, he is your guy.
Did I see something about Bateman being in a walk-in boot today? I thought I read something about that.
Man, I hope not.
Out of nowhere, yeah. I think I did.
Said just walk the hell out of everyone's lives.
I think that's why I kind of like the Justice Hill a little bit this week, because if there's something wrong with Bateman, then they need to have another wrinkle. Like Bateman adds an element to that offense. Like when Zay Flowers not working, I think it takes pressure. It gives Lamar.
I think that's something that I definitely need to figure out, is getting a receiver there that's just like dependable. Like they haven't really drafted somebody who's just like Zay Flowers has to be the guy. But
he
hasn't been very dependable. Injured in and out.
Who the hell is this Watson guy? Y'all know the running back Watson for the Broncos?
Nope.
Y'all ever heard of him? He just got a 10-yard run.
I think it's because of how Bo Nix handed it off to him.
Bo Nix had Derwin James right in his face, dude.
I'm telling you, man, Bo Nix is going to be.
He threw a perfect pass to the fullback, and they got a first down.
He might be the best quarterback out of this draft.
I was happy when the Broncos drafted him, but I was just like, well, we'll see, because I'm always leery. Like a quarterback.
He's old, dude. There's nothing wrong with the old quarterback, though. It's like he's Well,
Oh, not that, just the jump from college to NFL. And I think it's good. I think we are seeing a lot more of it. A lot of quarterbacks are trying to get their coaching and quarterbacks like skills fine-tuned in college because of what the demand is in the NFL. You know, I'm all for. I think the way the Falcons did it, they pretty much set Penix for a year, man, which is fine. You know, college season, it's over. You're either in the playoffs or in a bowl game or nothing. You know, so by that standard, he's already a veteran because he's already participated another year of football, and now he's ready to go out and do it. You know,
I agree, man. Everyone talked about Watson here. They're gonna get him for. He might have to
that a late hit. They're gonna call that a late hit. Come on.
It's they're gonna call it targeting, I think.
Yeah, dude, this Watson guy's about to win somebody some fantasy leagues. Somebody picked him up.
Well, some daily fantasy shit. Yeah, DFS for sure. If anybody started him, I mean, he would probably cost nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the lowest? 4,000 or 3,000?
Depends on which guy you're using, I guess. I'm not the biggest DFS guy, but yeah, it's
no. But if you squeeze in a cheap guy in there, you can
load unnecessary roughness. Same thing as targeting, basically.
That's bullshit.
That was a helmet right here. Bam! That's targeting.
Well, look, he lowered his head in like slow-mo, dude.
Well, you shouldn't tackle with your head.
I mean, look, that's just as much the running back's fault as the DB's fault.
Yeah,
he came in there with malicious intent. No doubt about it. What the F is going on over here, dude? They got Sutton single lined up.
Bam! Who scored a touchdown?
Estimate. God,
oh my gosh, Estimate!
I don't get how Sean Payton's such a douchebag during the fantasy playoffs.
That's okay, gentlemen. I'm gonna check out because the kids got bedtime at 8:30. One at 8:30, the other one at 9. So I appreciate you guys having me on and giving me that opportunity that we talked about. That's great.
Yeah, dude.
No, we appreciate love having you on, Joe.
Yeah.
You're not. There's nothing, Joe, about you except your name, man. You've been playing longer than most people I know. So
this is one of my favorite things in the world, man.
I hear you. Me too, bro. Me too.
All right. I'll check. I'll check you guys out next time. All right. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Look at Estimate.
Yeah, just piss you right off, doesn't it? I didn't start McLaughlin because I didn't trust it, but people like Javonte Williams, truthers are dead. Dude. And there's some people that have been about him that were like so hardcore.
Crazy. Him and
national media. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You know?
Him and Michael Carter in college were insane.
Yeah, dude.
They were so good. They were really good. Like Thunder and Lightning, legit. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, but that dude tore his knee out, man. I mean, they should have known right then and there. That was it.
Yeah, you're right.
The Todd Gurleys and those people in the world are far and few between, my friend.
Brooks, man. He's Jonathan Brooks. Damn. Comes in after
I have 0 shares of that guy.
I was so excited for him, man. It sucks.
Well, what about Green Bay's guy? Dude out of USC.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him, man.
Same thing. He came back then got hurt again. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, my issue with him is just he likes to put the ball on the ground.
Lloyd, yep, that's his name, Lloyd, yep.
Malcolm Lloyd, yep.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, here's the thing though: if you're going to be a running back in the NFL, you cannot get injured, dude. But that's what makes Alvin Kamara so special, and Derrick Henry so special. It's like those guys, dependable, Josh Jacobs, that thing's dependable,
Yeah, man, he's been.
Didn't the Vikings play this week?
Vikings play. Shoot, who do we play this week? Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Seattle. Oh, yeah, and there's no Geno Smith.
You're going to have to choose which wagon you're on, my friend.
Well, I'm a Vikings fan. This week.
Look, they're showing all the Oregon quarterbacks. They don't even show Joey Harrington. What the heck?
Bo Nix is way better than Herbert. He's going to show it tonight.
Oh,
Joe
yeah, I
Herbert.
forgot they both went to OU. That's why they did it.
Yeah.
I was like, where the heck is –
Oh, there's Dan Fouts.
Yeah, man. A little too old for us, but I hear he was great.
Ah, man, I'm telling you, I think Bo Nix is different. I think he's going to be the one that kind of is the one who lasts out of this group.
Dude, on this camera angle they show, there are so many empty seats in the stands. SoFi is such a beautiful stadium.
It is crazy, but it didn't. Remember when we were watching the game and they had like a lightning delay and it's a dome? You know, it's not crazy.
It's not a
Even
dome.
though-
It's not.
I know it's not. It's just basically a cover that's over it, and there's like openings around all around the bottom. So
Yeah,
they were
dude,
like,
I mean, it's really beautiful. I think that it just should have been like on a better football franchise, not these franchises that have either sucked or don't have a huge fan base following. Like there's teams that have more fan base following than the Rams combined.
guess who's here?
Hey, Wendy.
Guys,
Hi.
how's it
Merry
going?
Christmas.
Happy week 16.
Yeah, you know what? I got knocked out of everything last week. I'm
Not
done.
fantasy football sevens. You're going strong.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm still in that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's my last hope, Iggy. That's my last hope.
Oh,
I had to come on. I saw you post the link to come on, so I wanted to come on and wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And you know, I love you guys.
Merry Christmas, Wendy. We love you too.
Oh,
Yeah, I just got off the phone with Carla. We talked tonight.
Oh, nice. How is she doing?
oh, yeah. Her
Yeah,
daughter.
she's good.
Her daughter
yeah.
just won an award for saving someone's life.
Man, the whole family's amazing over there, aren't they?
Jeez.
Man.
She's a rugby player. Her daughter's a rugby player in college.
Oh, that's intense.
Yeah, she just
got
saved
that right.
somebody's life in a swimming pool or something. She got a citizen's award.
Wow.
Badass.
That's cool. Yeah. Man, oh man. I gotta
Are you
step
getting
up my
any,
game.
You getting any snow where you are right now, Wendy, or is it still like nice and
No,
light?
you know what? It's been really decent. We haven't had any accumulation. We're supposed to get like a couple inches tomorrow, but the ground is still pretty warm, so it's not going to stick or anything. But you know what? I'm going to the Bears-Lions game at Soldier Field Sunday,
Yes.
and
Oh, right.
it's gonna be 33 degrees.
Layer it up. You better
You know,
layer
it's
it up.
not that bad, I guess, but
We just got snow. I saw Green Bay was practicing today. They had snow at practice, but yeah. So I'm surprised y'all didn't get any snow down towards y'all because the way it would look,
no, we
radar
got
was-
nothing.
the radar looked like it was pushing south a little bit. South.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's what
we-
she's getting tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah,
it is
that
a
could be coming tomorrow. Yeah, I think they said like 1 to 2 inches, but you
That's
know, it's
what
gonna be 33. I've been to Soldier Field when it's been a lot colder than that, so I think it'll be fine. But you guys know, check this out. I had an extra ticket, so I put it in the chat of through the Unwind, the women's group that we have, and I'm like, hey, you know, does anybody want to come? And one of the women, Jenny, she's taking the train in. I'm picking her up at the train station, and we're going to the Bears game together. I mean, how cool is that?
Awesome.
Man, yeah, man. Planes, bears, and automobiles. Oh wait, trains, bears, and automobiles.
Yeah, she's taking the train in, and I'm going to pick her up at Union Station, and we're going to park, and we're going to walk to the game, and we're going to have a great time.
Man, that's awesome. How far is the station from the stadium?
Oh, no, it's just like 2 or 3 miles. It's not too far. It's probably 20 minutes driving though, but you know, because you're in Chicago. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
I'm only I think I'm only 12, 13 minutes from the stadium here. Vikings.
Oh yeah. Well, for me to get to like downtown Chicago from my house to Soldier Field's it's less than an hour. But I'm gonna go pick her up first and then backtrack a little bit. So, but yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. But that's what I just wanted to mention. Like that's what this community does. Like that's you come together, and I would have never known or met her, and now I get to hang out with her for the day.
At a football game, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
So,
I know it's gonna be cold. Hey, Mel.
She said she's going to be at Lambeau for Packers-Bears game.
Oh
Yeah, I'll
man,
go
you know
to the
what? My
Bears.
brother's going to that. My brother's gonna drive up there for that.
oh, that'll be fun.
Oh,
Hi, Rick. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, how you doing, Wendy?
Good.
We
Good.
get
Nice
rid
to
of our
see
name.
you.
Hey, Iggy and
What's going on,
JC.
Rick?
Was I just hearing someone complain about how bad Herbert was?
yeah.
Well, I don't think so.
I think it's pretty mediocre. And I don't want no mediocre. I don't want no mediocre.
I don't know. He has really good hair. He's like number 2.
Oh,
Trevor
I'm
Lawrence.
with you.
Trevor Lawrence is number 1.
you.
Okay, T. Law is number 1, but
No. You need to see what he looks like today. He looks like
Justin Herbert. Oh, did he cut it all off?
no. He looks like if you watch like a pirate show and like the pirates just went in and took over like an area. They just put on a new Buccaneer kid and he's like all hyped. He's got the mustache with his hair kind of
No.
Oh,
Oh, no. I'm gonna have
There
to
we go.
look.
That's what he looks like, a little Buccaneer who's like just kind of Edwards tonight, man. Gus tonight looks pretty fun, explosive. Yeah, I don't know. Justin Herbert kind of looks like
Gus Bus.
Yeah. Gus Edwards scored for anybody that had him in. Anybody got him in? Y'all know? I don't think I do.
Hey, Wendy, last night Gemmo and Philip were on the show with Carla.
I know. I didn't get to watch it. I just talked to her about it. I heard they talked about me. It better be good. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the replay.
Oh, it's so funny.
How fun, man! Those guys are a lot
Philip
of
shows
fun.
his eyes. Philip shows his eyes.
No,
Yes,
you're
he
kidding me.
No, I'm serious.
Wow, that's
You didn't know
major.
he's
That
ever
is
seen-
major.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. They're like, Philip's like, and Gemmo's like, I've never been on this side of the camera where somebody's talking at me. Oh, their show's goofy. Their show's so fun.
Oh no, Iggy. So I'm looking at the FF7. The guy that just scored for Denver, he's on my bench.
Oh,
no.
man.
Well,
You
Yeah.
have Walker? You have Walker?
no, it's not Walker. It's
Oh, Estime.
Yeah, he's on my bench in the FF7. And then I have Cameron Dicker going tonight. So in this FF7, Iggy, before I hop off and let you guys continue your live tonight, so the one that I'm playing right now is Simply the Best. That's the actual match that I'm in round 2 is against this person, right?
Sin City Heat.
No, wait. Oh yeah, that is him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
you know
Scott,
who that
that's
is.
Scott Frankel.
You know who that is,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm playing Scott Frankel. Oh man, he's projected to win. That's terrible. I can't lose to Scott.
gonna get you.
Don't just go
Yeah,
by
he's got a defensive lineman in, and you have Dicker in. So yeah, you need some field goal.
Yeah.
I see
Oh,
Estime
man.
down there.
I
You
know.
got a
That's
great
what I
team.
said. He's on my bench. I'm so bummed. Okay. You know what, though? I have to tell you, Scott Frankel, he hooked me up with the hotel where he works at the casino he works at when I'm going out there in April. And he gave me the friends and family discount. They were great. I got my room booked and I can't wait. And I'm going to actually be hanging out with him there. So it'll be cool.
That's amazing.
That is cool. I love Scott. He's one of my favorite people too. So yeah,
So
He's involved in every single possible charity tournament that is out there. Scott Frankel is a part of.
yeah, man. And somebody threw a brick at him, and he still showed up to the expo.
I
man.
know.
Nothing
I
stopped that
know.
guy. That's
I
what
know.
I was
Yep,
like, man.
yep. Don't tell him I'm talking nice about him. He better not come and watch the show. All right. Well, again, thanks for letting me crash the party, you guys. I just want to come on and tell everybody thank you for everything that you do, and you guys are killing it, and I appreciate y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Wendy, and have a great time at the game.
All right, I will. Bye, guys.
All right. Wendy, that was awesome. Rick, what's been going on? What have you been up to, dude?
Stadium.
I'm still hanging in there on the Fantasy Cares one and done. I was in 4th all season and dropped down to 9th. I'm back up in 4th. So
Oh man, Rick, you just reminded me I forgot to set my lineup for this game.
that's you didn't want to have anyone in this game. So you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still have Sutton, but that's okay. I can save him.
You done Oasis League or what?
Yeah, the Oasis League.
Let me tell you who
Man, this
I've
new
got.
kickoff sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Just move the ball back to like the 35 or the 30, 25. Make somebody where they boot it. And they can
And then
at least
do the same thing, right? Just do the same kind of thing, but move it back 10 feet. Or
Yeah,
10
make it where getting a touchback's like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I got a touchback. Like, man, that hole is big enough to drive a forklift through.
I want to see returns because I want to make that more part of like fantasy football, you know?
Yeah. You know, I've been playing with kickoff yards counting for both the team and the individual for 13, 14 years. So
It'd be nice to see it like actually be like this year. Like there was some plays like when you got a kicker that's not kicking as far as they should be kicking, you know. But fuck Minnesota, every week they're kicking it in the end zone, kicking it. So it's like, all right, well, if you're playing against Minnesota, don't start your kick returner, you know.
yeah, it hurt Nixon all year. You know, he's led the league the past 2 years with kickoff returns. But this year he hasn't been returning it. But last week he did. He returned 2 kicks and he got like 60 something yards, and that helped me a lot to win in fantasy football 7. So.
That's what I'm saying too, man. Like I said, if they could just keep the same style that they have right now, just move the ball back 10 yards and do the same thing. Damn, just a little short there, Bo.
Who was he throwing that to?
Who is that?
Franklin?
Is that Kelly?
Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin.
Belly?
Yeah.
Is that Belly?
Rookie, yeah.
Yeah, Franklin. Yeah. I think y'all might be a second or two ahead of me. That's okay though.
I love Nix, man. I'm really bummed that we didn't get him.
Dude, the Broncos needed him, dude. They haven't even been to the playoffs in 10 years. This state loves football, bro. Like, but yeah, the Nuggets have won. Yeah, the Avs have won the championship. The professional lacrosse team won here.
Go, Bo!
Denver University won the collegiate hockey tournament here, but it's still all about the Broncos.
I got to get a Bo Nix jersey, man. I think this kid's great.
That was a lot. He started. No, I got kicked out of the Warrior Bowl. I missed it by 11 points, man.
So I'm in a rookie league, and I took JJ instead of Nix, and I'm like,
I wasn't happy when the Vikings drafted him. I wasn't very excited.
yeah, they were saying how McCarthy was going to have such a great season because going on to a really good team.
Well, it's more going to it, man. Imagine Bo Nix coming here. Here's the deal: it's like you're learning from Kevin Oak. That's why you're seeing Sam Darnold kind of at least have a decent year. He's not that great of a quarterback, but he's having a successful year because he's playing under Kevin O'Connell, who played behind Tom Brady, played for Bill Belichick. I mean, and then you also have Josh McCown as your quarterback coach, who's been around the league. He's learned a lot from different players, different coaches. It's like that's why you're having a successful year from Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but they were saying how he
good.
might go to the Rams.
I don't give a shit where Sam goes as long as he's not here next year.
Sam Darnold, why is Stafford retired? This Watson guy, dude.
He's pretty good, man.
I keep wanting to just say Benjamin Watson, but it's not him. That's going to be one more play till the end of the first quarter here. 7-7 ball game. You can't really ask for a whole lot more than that.
So is Jim and Estimate tonight? Damn.
No, Williams was in there.
Was that Williams?
Was in there? He caught a pass for like 1 yard. So
yeah, it's just so tough to figure out who's going to be the running back for the Broncos each week.
Sucks.
Oh, good play there. Is that Derwin?
Khalil Mack, bro.
Oh,
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Went to the College of Buffalo. There's this Rick James song called Pass the J. And it's all about growing up in Buffalo. It's pretty funny.
Look at him, dude. He looks like doesn't he look like a pirate? Like he'd be on a pirate ship.
I guess like you're a little ahead of me. You're still just showing Khalil Mack, I guess. Or maybe I missed it.
No, they just briefly showed him on the sideline.
I've also got that like Skycam view. Is that the one y'all got?
No, I'm watching. They just showed Herbert. Like he looks like, like back in the day, like in England, where they would wear like the little poofy like on their shit. You know what I'm talking about? And they'd have like that would be him, but like as a pirate. That's what Herbert looks like, dude. Like a buccaneer.
Okay, who's 17 on the Broncos?
17. That's Bailey.
I thought it was Franklin.
No, Franklin's 16.
What?
And that guy was a lot bigger, so yeah, that had to be
Oh,
Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah, you're right.
Bailey. I picked him up in the Dynasty League.
Nice.
He could be with Bo Nix. Shoot, 6-7 years maybe.
So here's my one and done team this week. Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Mark Andrews, and then 2 Indianapolis Colts. Matt Gay is my kicker, and Richardson as my quarterback.
That's not bad. I kind of like doing that stack, to be honest.
Yeah, I like going kicker and quarterback in the same.
As long as they drive the ball down and aren't too like fourth down crazy. It's this guy right here, Sam Schwarzenstein. He played for Jim Harbaugh at Stanford with Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
Little thing, but yeah, I mean that's a great one and done lineup. I don't know how you got Josh Jacobs this week.
I had him last week, dude. I had him. I had Jacobs last week. I had Lamar last week, and I had Brian Thomas last week, dude. My team. It was my defense I didn't play well on, but my offense did really well.
That takes both, huh? It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, I still got 4th this last week, but it's a tough league, man.
It's getting down. The cover's getting pretty bare on my next week, I think, is the last week.
When does fantasy surfing start up again?
That starts up February, I think. Yeah.
You heard that right. Fantasy surfing league.
Oh yeah. It's year round over here, man. I draft basketball in like 10 days.
It's my favorite time of year because it gets slow around here for work, so I get to watch it. I actually get to watch surfing, so it gets more intense.
Nice. And I got a lot of great quarterbacks. I can use Drew Lock this week, Mason Rudolph. I can use Russell Wilson, Anthony Richardson. So you're running Anthony Richardson. What do y'all think, Anthony Richardson and Sam Darnold? Huh?
If I were you, use quarterbacks so you can't. Mason Rudolph might not start again next week, right?
He might. I don't know. I agree though. I'll play him in.
If he has another good game, yeah, it'd be tough for them to go back to Levy.
Let's see, running backs. Rico Dow, Jerome Ford. Why not?
I believe. I'm about to switch over to what you were on, though. I'm going to switch over to Prime. Forgot about it.
Is Garindo playing this week?
No. At least he hasn't practiced this week. So, and I've got Taylor on one of my playoff teams, and it's either him or something really bad. In fact, I was going to play Smart tonight, and then I saw that Garindo was out or wasn't practicing. So I'm hoping for Taylor.
Can surely
I don't think
put in Travis Etienne too. Ford, Dow, and Etienne. That's not bad.
And Smart has not had a reception so far. Hasn't been targeted yet. So
well, Hurst has been playing a lot of snaps. There's Sutton. I knew Sutton was going to have a good game. Dang it. That's all right. Yeah, I'm playing Scary Terry in my one and done, dude. I think he's going to have a big week.
someone was saying he didn't have a good game against Philadelphia
That's what Mike was saying. Yeah, they shut him down.
But I don't know how right now he's probably one of the hottest receivers in football. It'd be tough to sit him.
Well, how do you feel about Downs with Richardson?
Estimate.
God, he's a big
Like
guy.
had 2 touchdowns. She's gonna feel real bad if he scores another one.
Yeah, estimated.
Wendy, oh my goodness. Look at him, dude. He looks like a pirate, bro.
So wait, who's gonna have a better?
Look, he'll be up there. Look at him. You see Herbert?
I don't see him yet.
Oh, you might have missed him then.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll see him, but I kind of, I did see him before the game started. It's hard to
He
do
looks
that.
like
They're manned up. Watch out. Pass to Sutton. Nope. Mims Jr. Oh, I would have taken that. Oh, I got Mims
he
all over.
looks like what is it, Men in Tights? Robin Hood Men in Tights. He looks like dude from Men in Tights. That's what he looks like.
Oh yeah. That's got Dave Chappelle. Wait,
Chappelle's
so here's the question. I have Michael Pittman and Josh Downs both available in the one and done. Who would you rather have?
Who? Josh Downs and who?
Downs.
And Michael Pittman. And I'm starting Anthony Richardson. Who would you rather have?
Downs or who?
Pittman.
Michael
I'd rather
Pittman.
go Downs.
I don't like Pittman.
So what about you?
I already said Downs.
Downs. Oh, touchdown, Bo Nix. Passed it to the fullback.
Yo, fullback.
But that's why Tottenham.
The football team's getting destroyed tonight.
Nix is, dude. He's so
helping nobody.
They just showed Herbert, but he had his helmet on.
Yeah, because he knows he's not as good as Bo Nix. That's why.
Yeah, that's nice. Great call there.
So good.
So we're going Downs. Okay, I'll say Pittman. Trey Tucker, do you think he has a good game against Jacksonville? Maybe.
Everybody should have a good game against Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to see who I've got. Oh wait! Oh yeah, it's Raiders against them, so that's why I'm starting Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I've already gone through him, unfortunately. Man, I wonder. I just can't start any Falcons. I'll wait on Rayway. I'll just start Tucker. Why not? He's having decent here. So how many is that giving me? 8.
I think Drake London's going to be good this week.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think that anyone else. Maybe that.
Tight end's a quarterback's best friend.
I had London on my one and done team last week too.
But I don't think I'd risk on Ray or.
And yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to start Mooney. It's hard for me to start those guys.
Yeah, I think when they switch quarterbacks, every wide receiver goes down a rank.
Yeah, that's pretty much my rule with them too. So I'll start Chase McLaughlin. Do you think he has 2 good weeks in a row?
Well, Chase McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Leonard Williams or Kobe Turner? Oh, Kobe Turner against the Jets for sure.
Kobe Turner.
Well, I don't know.
Last week, remember? Right? As soon as I mentioned Kobe Turner, he also just.
I think I still got DeForest Butler. I'm going to put him in instead against Tennessee.
Yeah, I forgot. I asked you guys for a cornerback, and I think that the other one did well. Can't remember which ones now.
You're saying we messed up.
That's the challenge of having a deep team is that. But like Wendy was talking about, Estebe, having a touchdown, and then, but I'd rather have that touchdown on my bench than now on my opponent's starting lineup. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Wendy.
A high scoring bench.
Let's see, man, it is hard. Michael Hotchets. Nolan Smith, I don't think he's going to be able to get to Daniels.
Tony Franklin does not look as small as he did in college. It looks like he spent some time lifting weights.
Nope, not returning it. Set it down. Set it down. Yeah. Thank you. Oh man.
Oh, I now I see what they're pointing out is, I guess, his ankle or his.
Yeah, he's wearing a brace, like a different brace. They said, I think.
Yeah, it does look big back there.
I think he's just hobbling it together. He's probably one of our tougher quarterbacks in the league.
Nice.
McConaughey, dang it.
Got a rookie team with both McConkey and Estime starting.
We got Estime and him starting?
And McConkey both on this all rookie team.
Nice.
Unfortunately, my quarterback was JJ McCarthy. I've gone without a quarterback all season.
You can't pick up another one?
No.
I guess there's not any other rookie quarterbacks.
There aren't any, yeah.
Dorian Thompson. Can you play him if you want to play him this week?
He's not a rookie.
That's true.
Penix is a rookie?
No, I was talking about.
He was drafted. I mean, these were all guys that were drafted during the draft. So
I just traded for Nix in the league. It was a pretty good trade. Traded Najee in a second rounder for Bo Nix. It's awesome in a super flex league.
So a late first, would you trade a late first for Nix?
Yeah, oh yeah, yes, 100%. In a super flex?
Yeah.
1,000. Yes, 1,000 times. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this next year's quarterback class is going to be as great as a lot of people are going to think.
No, it's not. I don't like Sanders and I don't like Ward, and
I just don't think they're going to develop as fast as people think they are. You're going to, I mean, if Sanders goes to the Giants, which most likely is going to happen, no way.
I think they're projecting him to the Raiders now.
Huh?
I think they're projecting Sanders to the Raiders at 101.
Uh-huh.
Well,
or 102.
If he goes to the Raiders, I definitely don't see him coming out and being great right away. That team needs a lot.
I wonder if Tom Brady's going to work with them, or is he just going to be like an owner?
I mean, Herbert 6 for 6 for 82 yards.
I have a feeling Tom Brady's going to win about 2 or 3 more Super Bowls in our lifetime. In his lifetime.
I know he's going to come play for. He's actually going to come play for Minnesota next year.
He's going to win them with the Raiders, bro. They're going to win Super Bowls. They've been to so many Super Bowls, man. They're like one of the most iconic franchises in our football.
Yeah, it's good ownership.
But yeah, they don't have the money. Like Mark Davis don't have the money that the other owners do.
His dad was a good owner.
Yeah. But I mean, Al Davis has come from a lot of money, dude. He had a little bit, but he had to get so many owners he had to get so many funders and investors to buy the Raiders. I think that's why fantasy football originated with the Oakland people, because there were so many people that were involved with the Raiders to begin with.
Yeah, I still don't look at Herbert. What is he now? 7 for 7 for 92 yards. I don't know. I don't see it. I still don't see Herbert as this elite quarterback.
I think he's good. I think he's got the secret ingredients, a good quarterback.
I think he's a good quarterback.
A good coach.
I think Harbaugh uses him just the way he used JJ McCarthy.
I don't know, dude. I told everybody way before Harbaugh even came back, said he was going to come back before Michigan won the title. I was like, Harbaugh's on the record as saying that Justin Herbert's the best quarterback in the NFL, and if he wanted, he would love to work with.
I think he's just a really good college quarterback that's scheme. It's really good there.
Man, I cut Dicker this week. Dang it.
Dicker the kicker.
Dude, I wanted him to be like a top dog this year so bad after that. He pulled that promo for him. I don't know if you saw that promo that he did, but it was just like, him, like those old school like car salesman like commercials. Like he totally did one just like that, and it was so good about him going to the Pro Bowl. Oh, shit was so good.
I'll have to check it out. I think I remember people saying it was good though.
It's just terrible. Like just think of like terrible car salesman like commercials. Like slash, like it's just him like
Monday.
It's all about his leg and like how he can kick the ball. 20, 30, 40, I can kick it all. Like it's so good, dude. It's such an awesome. It's like a promo for this Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I don't care. Everyone just is on kickers. I like kickers in fantasy football.
I love kickers too. It's like people hate on defense too, DST, but it's just like I feel like people are so used to just putting it on, whatever the norm is for DST, and it's just like, dude, as soon as somebody scores, you go from 10 to 4. Like what? How do I lose 6 points from someone scoring 7? Like what the fuck? So I talked like this year I had made everyone vote on making changes for points. Like, all right, we'll start with 20 then and do that, and then go down from there. Or 50, it's just like you can't just like lose all those points because somebody scores once.
Yeah.
And then you have to do so much to get all the points back. It's crazy. Like you don't get points for tackles, you get points for sacks, intercept. Like you only get points for the big things. It's like a sack is 1 point. Like, dude, you gotta so you're telling me if somebody scores on me one time, I gotta get 6 sacks in order to get back up to 10? Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, don't forget you're also getting special teams points too. So if a returner breaks one, then all of a sudden your day is really good.
Yeah, you just
gotta have to take it.
Well, I think it's just people got to learn how to make. All right, well, if you want to do that, then tackles need to count. If you use half point per tackle or whatever it is for the defense is, shit. A game like some of the games we watch, right? It's like all defense, right? If you have players in that game, and it's that defense should be awarded for them only scoring 9 points, right?
Yeah,
and it's all field goals. So like they should get rewarded for like not allowing a passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown, right? Should be like 6 points for that. Like,
plus that's why I like IDP is it gets you to learn about and watch and enjoy the defensive side too.
Dude, Jake Daniels should not be offensive rookie of the year. It should definitely be Bo Nix. I'm sorry. To me, he looks.
If Brock Bowers can get it together, I'm not opposed to that. Like if he breaks Mike Ditko's record that stood since like 1960 something.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, who also is up there as a
Daniels is probably the one that's going to get it.
Minus
Daniels, yeah.
It shouldn't be him. I'm sorry. He's good, but I don't think he's a complete quarterback.
And also, I think
they're both great quarterbacks. We'll see.
Has lifted his team.
Nix is awesome, dude. He's a complete quarterback.
What are they right now? They're
like he looks like Drew Brees 2.0 to me, man. I'm sorry, but he does.
He's way bigger than Drew Brees, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he plays like him. Smart football. Looks around the field, makes good decisions.
Well, he is good, dude. I think he's might be the best one in the class,
I think he's the best one in the class. So I'm saying, like, Minnesota got duped. Sean Payton clowned on the Vikings about him too. He's like, I was trying to make y'all draft JJ. I wanted Knicks. He clowned on us.
We still don't know what McCarthy's going to do in Minnesota, though.
Oh, I hope he does something. He could come out and get hurt right away again and be nothing.
Oh, is
Ooh,
that?
That's my worry, is that he's not going to be ready for the start of the season.
I wasn't
And if
excited.
they don't re-sign Darnold,
They better not, because it's going to cost them a lot.
Yeah, they should just sign him to a 2-year.
We got Daniel Dimes.
bless you again.
Daniel Jones, baby.
Daniel
Danny
Jones.
Dimes.
Where's he at again? He's in Minnesota? He's in
Yeah, he's
Minnesota?
on our practice squad, dude. I saw him the other day when he was on Monday, dude. He was on the sideline with the clipboard.
Williams.
He runs hard.
That's what Williams is good for right there, those little dump off plays.
All right,
Dude,
so here's my one and done team I built. Anthony Richardson, Mason Rudolph. So they're playing against each other. Rico Dow, Travis Etienne, Jerome Ford, Josh Downs, Scary Terry, Trey Tucker, Brenton Strange, Chase McGoffin, DeForest Buckner, Kingsley Inagobert, Derek Hall, Jordan Hicks, Drew Tranquil, Pete Warner, Mike Still from Washington, Tyreek Stevenson, Grant Delpit, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Josh Metellus.
There goes Mims.
Oh, man.
There goes Mims. There goes Mims. That's all. Shirt tackle.
Dang it, Derwin. I
Shirt
need both of
tackle.
y'all to do something, so I think I could have used that Mims touchdown way more.
Wow, what a play there. Yeah, what a tackle, though. I mean, what a tackle. Shirt tackle. Pull him out of bounds. Mel liked that one. Those juke moves, baby. He's like, Derwin's like, yank, no. That was a nice play, though.
And Nick's is having a game.
Blake Watson, 650 to get a touchdown.
Oh!
Oh, my God. The touchdown. How do you miss that?
Would have been 6. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Nick's might have ran it in from there, too.
I hope he runs one in, man. Like I said, I like the kid. I think he's smart.
Oh,
Look at it. Oh, just a little high, but
a little too much mustard, too.
I mean, that's not super hard.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's catchable.
That's
Yeah,
a running back. That's got to go to the old rule, man. If it hits you in the hands,
Yeah,
okay.
put Esme in there. Get Williams out.
There you go.
He goes. There we go. Nice touchdown there, Bo. Vele. Oh, Mel's
Dang
pissed.
it. His odds were so crazy just now, too.
I was like, Mel's pissed. She sat him. Look at him, dude. He looks like a. He just looks like a jabron. What's the flag for?
Uh-oh. Let's see what's going on here. Could be some tomfoolery.
On the play, touchdown, baby. Who is the better quarterback from Oregon? Looks to me like Bo Nix.
Really hearing some, baby.
Talking about in this game.
Joey won the Heisman? I can't remember. He either came in second or won it. Him and Steven Jackson, bro. One was at Oregon State. One was at Oregon. It was all the rage back in the day.
The Ducks, man, they have the best jerseys in all of college football.
They have to.
They have probably the most money for their school. They get a lot of money.
Well, that's where the founder of Nike's from, so they're questioning
Yep, you're right.
jerseys.
Dude, they have in a year they could have more jerseys than they have games. And helmets and everything, dude. Their uniforms are sick. That when they got the chrome helmets, you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah. Also like Boise State.
Yeah.
Their field.
The field and the uniforms.
Yeah, their jerseys are cool.
I was told there's a lot of problems with ducks trying to land on that field.
Really?
It's in a dome, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
Oh.
I think it's outside.
That's,
Like they think it's like a lake.
I remember when I first saw it, I didn't like it, but now I just identify it with Ohio, Idaho.
Oregon's got a sick basketball court. Oregon's got a sick basketball court too. It's got like trees all over it.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
like shadows of trees. It's sick.
Yeah, I can't hate on that. You know, that's pretty cool.
The Gophers. Our basketball court here for NCAA, it's up on a like 3-foot pedestal. So like
really?
when you come off the floor, you go down and you sit down, but like below the floor. It's crazy.
So do players get hurt coming off the court?
I mean, you could fly off the court.
Yeah, that's
Be careful there. It's weird, dude.
Stupid.
so look how Denver changed from last year to this year. They went from Russell Wilson to Knicks. Judy and Patrick to Mims and
Bailey.
Bailey.
I got a fun stat for you here for the Bears. All right, hold on. Where'd it go? All right, so Bears last games with healthy Justin Fields when he played, 5-3 record, 24.5 points per game. Bears last 8 games with Caleb Williams, 0-8 record, 14.75 points per game.
Okay, you can do that as well with the Jets. You can go from I forgot the guy that they just
Zach Wilson
and his one loss versus A-Rod.
Hey Rodgers, dude, did you see that video of Rodgers? Like when he was, I don't know what hallucinogen he was on, but he was like a butterfly and he talks about flying through the air and how amazing it is to be a butterfly. He's like, this is my life now.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything least interesting would be his Netflix show.
I cannot wait, dude. That's what I was saying. People are like, he's such a piece. I'm like, dude, his Netflix episode is gonna be sick. I was like, the things he went through in his life.
Okay.
I've seen that in real life. I need to watch somebody else do it.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Did you see that Netflix show on the quarterbacks where it was Mahomes, Cousins, and I forgot the
was
quarterback.
that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's a really good show. The receivers not quite as good, although the part with Kittles is actually pretty good. But the quarterback one was pretty good, pretty interesting.
I heard it was good. I don't have Netflix. So.
Oh, you on Netflix? Oh wow.
Yeah,
I heard. I don't know if it's HBO. Someone's about to have drop a Kobe series. Or
good.
I want to see. Come on, let's see. I want to see Bo Nix out there again throwing touchdowns.
Yeah, we have to see another Charger touchdown to keep them throwing.
Nah. Do you know who Sean Payton is? He will run the score up. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like the most ruthless coach in the world.
Oh.
I mean, when you pay players to hurt other players, that's ruthless coach.
That's a good point, my friend.
2009, baby. I remember because Vikings had Brett Favre that year. Adrian Peterson has best career year that year.
He didn't have a good game, that's for sure.
No, he definitely had a couple fumbles, baby. What a bum.
Got to have the people that can perform when the pressure's on, man. Anybody.
But then Brett Favre got folded on, but he got folded up like a lawn chair.
Anybody can make a meal, but, can you make 20 meals at one time? Yeah. Let's go, Herbert. You're doing great, dude. Keep it up. Hey,
Why
just because of our show, JC, just want to there is a boost on DraftKings, so I just went ahead and took it. Anytime touchdown score, I took Marvin Mims, so it went from plus 950 to plus 1,264. We've seen them give him the ball twice near the red zone, or he caught that one pass, and then they ran that like wide receiver screen thing for him.
Yeah.
So I just
and he was just dragged down by his uniform too.
Yeah, exactly. And so like JC said, the score is not really the indicator. That's 11-point lead's not safe anyway. So they're going to have to keep going for it. So $25 bet yields $341. If y'all want to hop on that, go for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it, man. Like you guys were just saying, they're going to have to keep throwing the ball.
Yeah, dude.
Their running game isn't really working that great out. I mean, they're throwing to their running back. So, I mean, they're having to continue to throw the ball. So, and Mims is kind of that guy who can also do gadget plays. So we could see him do something crazy too out of the backfield.
Yeah. I like Mims. I've liked him since we drafted him. People forget he was the Broncos' first overall pick last year.
Doesn't he return too? He could get a return touchdown.
Yeah, bro. We don't discriminate against tutties over here. So
I would love to see a return touchdown.
What do we got? How much left in the game?
We got to halftime. I think it was 3 minutes and something, wasn't it? Or 4 minutes and something.
Once we get to halftime, we are out of here.
It's been such a long day for me, bro. I went up to the mountain. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, so I was sore all day yesterday. I climbed like this little mountain in town, and then today I'm skiing, having a wonderful time. And dude, I ate it so hard. I like went into like this like where they make the man slow, and then there's like we haven't got any snow. There's like this little creek, so I went through like the creek, and when I popped out, I was like in really deep snow and like not the right skis for that. So it just like halted me. I just
I used to live an hour from Tahoe. So I'd be able to ski all the time.
Dude, I almost moved to Tahoe. I was looking at North Star. I was looking at Mount Rose, which is in Reno, and then
Mount Rose is underrated. It's higher. It's probably higher than Squaw. So
I looked at Mount Rose a lot. It looked really cool to me. I almost moved to Reno instead of where I'm at. Bo Nix, go! And then,
baby. So I'm saying he's
what are the south end of Tahoe? There's Heavenly. Is that one of the south end of Tahoe, Heavenly?
That's on the south end, yeah.
Yeah, I still have connections there if I ever wanted to go check it out.
There's another place that's got some good steeps. It's called Kirkwood.
It's called what?
Kirkwood.
Yep, that's right. I've heard of that. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot. I've never been to Tahoe. I've always wanted to check out Tahoe Lake, Pyramid Lake. I love rivers, so I wanted to check out the Truckee River. And then
it's pretty out there. It's real nice. We used to live near Grass Valley.
I think I could get down with Nevada. A lot of wide open space.
Ooh, stacked.
Bosa, anyone. Dude, they're so stacked at defensive end. I'll tell you that. Bosa down. I don't want to butcher the young kid's name, but they got that young kid Tawala. I can't say it, but he's really good too.
What do you think, Rick? Do you think Tennessee can beat Ohio?
Yeah.
In college?
Yeah. Man. I want to see.
I'll be honest, I don't follow college that closely. I just get interested around draft time. So I'm starting to watch all the tape on players, especially since I have a 101 pick. I know which way I'm going with it, but
I'm taking Boise's running back. I'm taking
a 4 and a 5, so that's the one where it's going to be more interesting.
I'm taking Boise's running back. That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, Genty's the only guy,
That's the only thing I got my eyes on this year. I mean, I don't hate. So, who do we talk about this? Was it you, Iggy? I was talking about. I mean, IDP, right? Travis Hunter is not a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't know where he's gonna play. I don't know how that's all gonna break.
It's like England.
I don't know, man. I think they'll maximize his efforts. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But it would be pretty sick if you could have him, and you could play him at DB, and he's catching receivers. Like he's playing receiver.
I think he's too unique a talent to pass up on too much. You know. At the end of the day, it's not the X's and O's, but the Jims and Jets.
Gentry's the guy. I think he's the guy.
What a throw, Bo Nix! Right on the freaking money, bro. That was
Telling you,
amazing.
man, he is a complete quarterback. He is the real deal.
Yep. It's did you hear what Mahomes said to him after that first game a couple weeks ago? He was like, "Keep it up, bro. We're going to be doing this for a long time."
That's what I told you. I think Bo Nix is man. Could you imagine him with Justin Jefferson?
Oh my
God. I couldn't even him and Addison too. Like, oh my goodness, it would be unreal.
Cruel. Who the heck is Cruel?
It's like they don't even have a running back really there. Like, and then you have like Jones. I mean, fucking it could have been special.
Blitz. Uh-oh.
That ball got tipped by who? The ball was flipping all over the place.
That's the one thing I can't. The deflection, when a pass is deflected from this angle, you can't see it. That's my one complaint. Like, it's so hard to tell who touched it and which way the ball's going. So he just threw to his hot route. Whoosh. So, y'all, how many regular leagues you got going, Rick?
I'm still in playoffs in 5 leagues.
Nice.
So,
shook one, shook two.
And
Battle of the Sexes, dude. I'm still killing it, man. I'm still. Let's see going into this
Got
week.
bounced in the first freaking round, bro.
No, I've been. Let's see. My team is. It's really good.
Dude, we are seeing Jason Kelsey and the Watt brothers everywhere. They're literally like in every commercial.
Ooh, I got Marvin Mims on this team too.
Nice.
So let's see here. I am 26-4. I've only lost twice in that league.
Golly.
Yeah, so 26-4. I'm first in the division. I got Bob Long in that league.
ooh,
He's been doing
FF7s, bro. Dang, Jaden's got 24.36 points. What's he doing? He's got Bo Nix, bro.
Yeah, Bo Nix is so good.
And Will Lutz. Will Lutz only got 3 from extra points, but better than a goose egg. I'm not doing too well.
Damn. That was Davis.
Darius Davis, kick returner.
Oh,
3.75, dude. Derwin James needs to do a lot more. He's got Jefferson. I got Derwin. Let's check out the best ball league. What's the scores there? I really like that league. So I got Vidal, and he's got Palmer. How does Palmer have 5.4 points? Return yards?
He had a pretty decent catch.
Yeah, he's got 29 yards. You're right. He's got 3 targets and 2 receptions. Well, let's slow that down. Let's just throw the Lad McCogney here, you know?
Yeah, he's got 22 yards running too, so he's actually having a decent day.
Dude, of course my Warrior Bowl team's doing great this week. God, that makes me mad.
Yeah.
But I can still win the league in here. I can still win like the league, like according to how it's set up, which is kind of nice to have.
I have a team where I've got Henley and Pace as my linebackers.
No, Henley's nice.
And the guy from Green Bay, the rookie from Cooper, yeah. Aldridge Cooper.
I got Stone Smart in tonight. He's got 3.8. 2 receptions, 18 yards. Not terrible. If my tight end doesn't get goosed, I'm generally pretty happy. That's why in fantasy football sevens, Rick, when we get you in next year, you don't have a tight end requirement. So
Yay.
16 team leagues though.
I'd start a kicker over a tight end.
Yeah, me too, man.
Because I played with a true premium tight end league one year. It was 12 teams. We had to start 2 tight ends, and you want to talk about sucking, you know?
Oh, man. Hey, you're just getting
you'd have a zero for sure. Almost one of your tight ends would be a 0. You know.
One thing I do think though, Iggy, is you should make your tight ends have a little bit more worth, because there are situations where you get into a point where you're like, I might need to start one.
Yeah, I mean, some get started. Don't get it wrong, but yeah, I think I should just make them full PPR because it's half-point PPR. So,
but even the way they're doing it now, where they're giving tight end premium, so Smart's got 2 catches for 18 yards. So he's got a bunch of points, but you know, if your wide receiver was 2 catches for 18 yards, you'd be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got whooped up on this year, and this is my worst FF7s year.
Are you in the TSA league playoffs?
No, I hit bad in that league too.
It's going to be hard. I mean, but that Evan and Jaden could meet up, but it's going to take a while to get past Anthony at Fantasy Fish.
Yeah, Fish.
I was glad to beat you in that league, Mel. I beat you pretty badly, so that's nice. Glad we got that out of the way. What's up, Pete? They got a blitz coming. 5 pressures. They got him. No, he got it all.
Donkey. Good tackle, though. Great tackle by Jones.
There's Jones. Somebody asked me if they should start him tonight. I said yes, because he was one of my starts of the week in my article. He's pretty good, man. And is Patrick Surtain out there? Is he out? He's out, right?
No, he's playing. The other guy, Riley, isn't playing.
That's right.
Dude, Bo Nix almost has 20 points in the first half.
Man, dude, that should be intentional grounding. That was literally to no one.
No, he's a pirate, dude. He can do what he wants.
I don't think so. Who cares about the rules around here? That was a beautiful pass, man. Strand, you got to get your hand wider, dude. You had it right at its neck. You got to get it where the arm's going to be, bro. I'll tell you one thing. The Kings Classic, I was doomed again once my second-round pick, Alex Singleton, went out. You know, Alex Singleton's a stud in tackle leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Brandon Jones, man, back again. That's 2 on this drive.
He's good too, yeah. Denver's defense is really good.
I'm going against Bo Nix this week.
Timeout, Denver. Chargers.
When I first saw McConkey, when they have that sort of Guardian helmet on, he looked like he was about 5 years old.
Well, how big is he? He's like 5'10".
I think he's closer to 6 foot, but maybe you're right. Maybe he's only 5'10". Let's see if they give any information on him.
Yeah, I'm about to say we can look it up because he's not.
He is 6 foot according to the.
So 6 foot with cleats on, huh?
But 185 pounds, so he's.
So he's probably 5'11", 180, 170.
He's probably 5'10", 170, yeah.
The new era, you don't have to worry about that, though. I mean, if you were that small in the Ray Lewis, like this century, like the first decade of this century, the zeros, whatever you want to call it, the 2000s. And,
if you look at the wide receivers that are coming in this year, McMillan, Hunter, Burden's got a little bit of size. Manure, the guy from Stanford, he's got some size.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to. I'm like you. I can name Shadon Sanders, Travis Hunter. I know there's a Manning playing, and
Yeah, but he's not.
I'm just saying the players I know. And there's a good running back from Boise State.
Yeah, McMillan is 6'5". He's
that's a monster.
He's like a Mike Evans.
Boise's.
How many yards does Mike Evans need to get to 1,000 yards? Dang, Herbert must not be that hurt.
I think Herbert's a gutsy quarterback.
He's like the poorest of poor man's.
Oh, as soon as I said that, though. Cocaine right there.
He's like the poorest of poor man.
That's what you can't do as a quarterback. You cannot throw interceptions, especially on the goal line.
He's no Bo Nix, I'll tell you that.
Man, I love the Broncos, dude. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they could beat Kansas City if they play them the first week of the playoffs.
I hope they do, man. I agree.
I don't know. Kansas City's probably going to get the bye, though, bro.
Of course they will.
I don't see the Steelers catching them. I don't see damn sure not anybody in the Texans catching them. And then Buffalo, I don't know. They beat Kansas City, right? So they just have to be even with Kansas City.
Yeah, Milano's back too, so that helps the defense a bit.
We trust in Kobe Turner this week, or do you want Trey Hendrickson?
What is EPA? Pass EPA allowed? I don't know what that is. What's all these up with these new stats to make people?
Gabriel Strain. Never even heard of him.
What do you think?
JC?
Iggy, what do you think? Trey Hendrickson or Kobe Turner this week?
Cincinnati's playing DTR. I like Hendrickson. I like both of them, but Hendrickson could have a 2-sack game, especially if Cincinnati's up by a lot.
I got Jermaine Pratt though. Also,
see, that's what I hate about PPR, dude. Williams caught a pass for -3 yards and still gets 0.7 points. Like, that's just a bunch of baloney.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. Because, see, when we listened to the fantasy footballers back in the day, that they convinced me. They were like, half-point PPR is the way to go. I was like, okay, I'll do it. We're changing our league from standard to half-point PPR, you know? Sutton, 3 receptions, 34 yards. God dang, I told like 4 people to start him. I mean, why are we running the ball? Just getting out of here? Just saying F it.
Yeah, dude.
Going into the half with the lead.
Somebody called it. Chargers said, no, hell no.
They're making our show go longer, man.
Harbaugh says, we're not going in there yet. He said, my depends aren't full yet.
JC, you know what? Cat's coming back to the Target Center tonight, baby.
I know he is, man. He'll probably get a standing ovation.
I said he deserves one. He definitely deserves it.
I mean, remember when KG came back? When he went to the Celtics?
Did he get a standing ovation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, KG's different though. Like he's
I don't know. Cat's still top 3 probably franchise player, like the best. He's top 3 probably Minnesota all time.
Oh, get the ball! Get it!
No, I think there's a penalty. I think there's a penalty on.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell from this angle, but yeah, I think he got hit.
I don't know.
All of a sudden his head snapped back, and he went to the ground.
It's just like the deflections are hard. The deflections are hard to see from this angle.
Man, if that is a flag, that makes that timeout look pretty smart.
Oh, that's my old roommate, man.
So watch his head snap back.
Hey, dude, what's going on?
Oh yeah,
Nothing. He wasn't touched. Yeah.
Good, man. I'm about to. I'm actually live right now.
How did it really affected him though?
Like literally as soon as we go to halftime. So I'm gonna hit you up like in about 1 minute.
Yeah, I guess it did affect
him. Literally about 1 minute, 2 minutes. All right, bro. Old roommate. I haven't talked to him in, I don't know, 6-7 months. So I got to make sure I talk to him. Trying to figure, did y'all got? I have the audio off on here. It was the hit, right?
Yeah,
They called it. It looked like if he got touched, it was just barely grazed. I mean,
like Jersey. That's all it takes, man.
Their knees popped together.
They
Do you
did.
think it was the lower body?
Yeah, his knee hit his knee, and it definitely affected him.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. This is something Herbert can do. He's got a cannon, bro.
Look at Dicker. He's like, let me kick it right now from here.
It's gonna have to be a Palmer. He's the only one that.
We're gonna let him do it, dude. Dang it.
He said, Dicker's like, I'll kick it from right here.
Where's the ball at? We got like
80 yards. I don't care where it's at.
Dude, with the penalty game,
40 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, 60, 90 yards. I'll kick it from the end zone.
So I want my kicker to say too. I mean, heck, they're past the 50. That's like
we could do a 70-yard kick.
That's a 61-yard kick. 61 yards.
Oh, let him kick it. Yeah.
That's points.
Let him kick it.
Ah, dude. If he makes this, I'm going to be so pissed about cutting him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't they let Aubrey?
Right?
Was it Aubrey they let kick a 70-yarder?
Oh, yeah. He made that record, but they cut like a penalty or something, and it got wiped out. Oh, no, he tied. He would have tied Tucker's kick. And they wiped it off because of a penalty.
Oh, yeah. They're going to let Dick kick the ball.
Oh, my God, dude. If you make this, I'm going to never forgive you.
I love it.
I'll never forgive you. You can't forgive yourself.
Not me, Dicker. But if he misses this, in some leagues, that's still minus points.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Not in fantasy football sevens. I think once you get above 50, you don't lose a point. Or if you do it to half a point, I might have changed that. That's not much.
Oh, what?
They took him off?
There we go. Good call. Did they call another timeout? You can't call 2 timeouts in a row, can you? Oh, Denver called a timeout. That's what.
Dicker's like, good. I'm going to get my legs stretched out more. He's like, 1, 2, 3, Cameron.
Dude, like one of my best friends was an all-state kicker, in Texas all 4 years. He was so good, dude.
Man, that's what I'm telling you, man. You just got to teach your kid either be a punter or a kicker, and they'll be there for a long time.
Or a long snapper.
Or a left-handed pitcher. Yeah, long snapper, too. I like that. This is an onside kick? What are they doing?
Yeah, they don't have to snap it.
Why is nobody running up there to block it?
What the hell is going on?
Run up there and block it.
Have you ever seen this shit?
So no time left. You don't have to snap it, I guess.
Interesting.
What? Yeah, what's going on?
He's got it. Easy.
Let's go!
What the hell is going on?
Love it.
How is that legal?
That could have been 67 yards.
Screw you, Dicker.
Yeah, it was easy.
I didn't even know that was allowed. That's not a kick.
What was that?
I have no idea, dude. I've never seen that.
I
haven't seen that in my 35 plus years of watching football. I've never seen that.
He might have made a 70-yard kick with that one.
So if they don't snap it, they don't have to move the ball back? Is that why I'm understanding it?
I think it's because it was time expired, so they get to. It's a free kick.
Huh.
Are you serious? That's it? Like the time expired, so that's the rule on it, huh?
It had to be because otherwise they didn't snap. They just.
Yeah, I've never seen. I've seen Doug Flutie do a drop kick for the Patriots, but I've never seen that.
Dude, the drop kick is crazy.
That's a good rule. I like it. And that was
See
done
how
through
easy
these
he
last
cleared
failed
that,
play.
too.
What a
What the
kid.
heck is that,
But he
dude?
had the screen behind the goalpost, so he
Wendy
has
just
plenty
had
of
a lot
room.
of points. But all right, guys, I'm gonna call my old roommate
We're
there.
all hopping out of
Hey,
here.
thanks
Yeah,
for
that
letting
was
me
a
in,
lot of
man.
fun, man. I always love our Thursday night sessions. So
Appreciate her coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in.
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate
Rick, thank y'all. Thank you everybody for being in the comments. Mel, we always love you being here.
Mel, you're the best. And on that top, peace out.